ECL Elite Division Season 10 right here on NHL Gamer, brought to you as always by IS Sports and Prisma Gaming. My name is Toogie, joined as always by my broadcast partner Sin. And Sin, we have arrived. The second round is upon us after an amazing start to this postseason.
Yeah, I mean, the quarterfinals were absolutely incredible. Some of the craziest things to happen, happening in the first round. I mean, this especially Färjestad defeating Jyväskylä, and now they get to test their mettle against the defending champions. Not an easy task, but I mean, neither was, taking out the first seed, so anything can happen here.
Again, it was a phenomenal start. Here in this broadcast, we'll have the first two games of each semifinal matchup. Kicking things off, it is our defending champions in Linköping taking on, as Sin mentioned, the underdogs, the giant killers, perhaps, in Färjestad. A little bit later on, it'll be HAVU Gaming taking on hREDS. Now, Sin, very much the opportunity for a rematch of last year's final between Linköping and HAVU. It's there. It's certainly a possibility. We thought it was a possibility from the start, and that dream is still very much alive, but only because of the simply improbable, again, upset by Färjestad over Linköping, as we get you guys another look at the bracket here. But very impressive, to say the least, how that went down. Again, 5 games. The number one seed goes down in just 5 games. I've never seen anything like it, but it's an entirely different story to have to try and pull it off again, essentially.
Yeah, and especially against, a defending champion, in Linköping and Färjestad. I mean, it was kind of crazy and almost, a bit of magic, as you can call it. I mean, they only had 25 registered shots over those 5 games. I mean, to win in 5 with only 25 shots in those 5 games is just kind of crazy. I mean, they're so efficient with their offense, but the question is now, are they going to be able to do it against Linköping?
I mean, certainly easier said than done. Again, Linköping in the first round, sweeping Roots, and of course in a best of 7 in those 4 games. And again, Färjestad pulling off the near impossible, all things considered. So I believe we're good to go. Again, we'll get you a look at the bracket to see how that all played out, or we'll get you a look at the team lineups too. You may have seen the bracket in the pregame intro. It's fine. You'll see it on plenty of occasions throughout this broadcast. Do not worry about it. We're keeping you up to date as it is as we go along. That said, you got to look at the team lineups here as we're getting down to business. And Sin, interesting, of course, just to look at these two teams, the matchups, because yet again, on paper for Färjestad, they are extremely outmatched, but that seemingly didn't matter in round 1.
Yeah, outgunned, outmatched, but you know what? I think they're kind of thriving off that. They're very realistic in what they bring to the table, right? I mean, we heard in the interviews, they're like, okay, well, we're not going to outpossess Jyväskylä. We have to look for our chances here. They kind of understand what they're going up against, and they are looking for ways to, they could still get their own offense. So I think they would have studied Linköping and tried to find some ways here, but the problem is Linköping, with how good they are, there's not going to be too many holes, and even if, Färjestad do kind of find them. They got Kape back there. They have, the entire team, working hard, and with the experience of coming from behind, I think it'll be a little bit more tougher for Färjestad to really kind of get that mental edge over Linköping.
Absolutely. So with that, let's take a look at the center matchup to kick things off, as we always do. As for our defending champions in Linköping, you get a look at the captain in Patzloff going up against Maisa. Now, Sin, again, through the regular season, you look at the numbers and it's like, okay, Patzloff has the advantage, top 10 in scoring. Not that Maisa was a slouch. He had 50 points in 30 games. Patzloff, though, with 62. Face-off-wise in the regular season and here in the post, well, we'll say in the regular season at least, it's been an interesting kind of role reversal for the face-off percentage as well, which might be the key, or is it the points? I mean, there's a lot of interesting factors to look at here, but what really stands out for you?
Yeah, I mean, I was going to bring up those faceoffs. I mean, especially for Potzloff, he was about 57% in the regular season, now at 47% in the playoffs. And, Miza, 47% roughly in the regular season, 58% here in the playoffs. So, yeah, the reversal is quite interesting. It looks like, he studied, his opponent, and if he's done the same to Potzloff may struggle once again in the dot. And, when it comes to a team like Linköping, where they thrive off more and more possession, and if you start giving Färjestad some of that possession with how strong their offense is, it can perhaps get, a little bit dicey for Linköping there if they keep giving them chances.
That's really been the key for Färjestad, through the playoffs, as far as taking advantage of those extra possessions off of those one faceoffs. We talked about their defensive struggles, at least in the regular season for Färjestad. They've kind of turned things around as of late, but they've always had a solid offense, and it starts with Miza being able to win those extra draws. And if he can continue, as you said, to win the draws over Potzloff, they can very well make this a series. It's obviously so tough to say how this one's going to go down. Expect the unexpected, perhaps. Moving over to the winger matchup now for Linköping, of course, we have Playmaker and Eki. A happy birthday indeed. For Färjestad, though, Afe and Bastion. Sin, there are so many talking points here as well in terms of how this breaks down. Of course, the reputations of Playmaker and Eki, very, very well deserved. But Bastion flies under the radar a little bit, and Afe was the breakout star of round one.
Yeah, Bastion does fly under the radar, but the one thing he's good at, and I feel like we always mention whenever we cover this team, is just how much of a nuisance he is on the forecheck, and his aggression through the neutral zone, kind of always pressuring the puck carrier and forcing those turnovers, and that just feeds Afe's game, because once he gets off and skating, it's going to be hard to contain him. He uses that smaller build. Now, I do believe, a couple of the defensemen on Linköping use a puck mover build, and I'll be interested to see if, they will maybe even both go to a puck mover build. I guess we'll find that out. But yeah, Playmaker, 7 goals. Afe has 6 goals. I mean, it's looking like, those left wingers are really going to be the goal scoring threats here. But of course, you can't forget about Eki either. The birthday boy, 10 points in 4 games played. I mean, there's so many talking points that I just feel like we can't even cover all of them right now. So we'll have to see what happens in game.
Especially, too, because a lot of these talking points are going to continue to evolve and develop throughout this series. I mean, when you think one thing's going to be a talking point, all of a sudden, of course, things can very much change. That brings us over to the defensive matchup as well. And, of course, very intrigued to see how this one plays out for Linköping. We have the ever-dangerous J. Toro and Loimu. For Färjestad, though, Rubitus and Totali, 2 completely different strategies when it comes to how they're, how these individual teams use their defensemen.
Yeah, absolutely. And especially when it comes to like the regular season numbers. I mean, Rubitus and Totali, definitely lower on the side of things. Rubitus, was a bit more up there, snagging a lot of those assists, but there's not a whole lot of shooting coming from the point. Most of their assists are coming from long stretch passes and things like that. Whereas J. Tor and Loimu, very active, especially in the offensive zone, and they're very quick. They're not too physical on the back end. They prefer the skill sticks with the defensive skill sticks on the back end, which, could be good, but they may have to get a little bit more physical there when dealing with Afe, because he's going to be using that smaller build. They can actually, bump him off the puck now, if they can catch them. But that's why, again, I'm intrigued to see what their builds are going to be. I know at least one of them, or they switch off using puck moves. I'll be intrigued to see if they put that, that puck mover on the side of where Afe is to kind of counteract that speed.
Could be done against, and not something we would have expected in terms of okay, how are we going to counter Afe in this series? But that is now very much a factor. Before we move over to the goaltender matchup, though, thankfully, our broadcast partner here, F5 Penguin, was able to get a word earlier today with both goaltenders. We're going to kick things off. He managed to snag an interview with Rundqvist of Färjestad. Nick, take it away.
Thanks, guys. F5 Penguin here. Nick DeMeo bringing you another interview. I'm here joined today by Rundqvist. Rundqvist, thank you so much for some time today.
Yeah, no problem, Nick.
Sure. So let's get started. Färjestad, we know the giant slayers. I want to know the first question on everybody's mind. Do you have one more upset in you here today?
I don't know. we're hopeful. We played great in the quarterfinals series, really good defensively. But I don't know what to say. We're already made it. Kind of. We're really proud of what we accomplished. We've had some fantastic support after the series against Yip. A lot of former teammates and many people have written to us and said congratulations. But you know, we're facing. We beat one giant. Now we're up against an even bigger giant, in my opinion. We're facing the prime Barcelona, if you can understand that reference. But we go in this series again with no pressure at all. We're here to have fun. It's a lot of fun to play these games, and yeah.
So hopeful is good, and I like the cross-sport reference. I'm all for that. I got to ask, inside the party chat, have you had a chance to talk to the guys so far today? What's the mood in the group going like into tonight's game?
Yeah, we've written in our chat, of course, but not that much about tonight. Just small saying hello, and we had the practice games yesterday. Just having fun. We got a good mood. However, we got an inner body injury on one of the guys, if I can say that.
An injury.
But yeah. No, inner body injury. Yeah, he's got a fever.
Oh, I got it. Okay, so we won't disclose that. Obviously, we'll just list it as questionable, and it's up for the people to decide which one might have the fever.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it doesn't affect him too much today. But let's.
No, he's a pro.
He's a pro for sure. So let's talk a little bit about your left wing, Affy, right? So a star-making run in the first round versus Yip, as you mentioned. What do you think makes him so effective for the team?
Affe, the double three, man in the office. You know, a beloved child has many names. We have a Swedish saying. So, but you know, he's a lethal sniper with great speed. All around great guy otherwise as well, but you know, as a goalie, I'm pretty. I don't mind getting breakaways against me in games, except for some guys, and Affe is one of those guys. It feels like he scores on pretty much any given opportunity, but it's just not only Affe. It's a team effort, really. He gets the Sedin passes or the Omaha passes won't happen without the other guys as well. So he gets fed a lot from totally Rubitus, Maise, and Basse as well.
Sure, and that team effort is going to be crucial against the opposing goalie, Kappe. Some argue one of the all-time greats in the ECL scene. What is the team's mission here? What is going to be the focus, the key to success to put some pucks behind him and into the net tonight?
Oh, Cap, yeah, he's one of the best for sure. Here's another reference for you. He's like Gianluigi Buffon from soccer. He's awesome. He's the most consistent goalie I've seen playing. He doesn't make mistakes, and he's one of the best. Like, I've seen the Crease Police play. Shekel, Swag, Suprex, Hansolinho. They're all great goalies, and Kappe is probably top of the list there. So, and in front of him, he's got 5 excellent players. They're almost as good defensively as offensively. I mean, they can turn to 5 Virgil van Dijks if they want to, just playing defense and shutting everything down. But yeah, hopefully we'll bump up the scoring percent from the quarterfinals. I think we only scored 1 out of 3 shots there. Maybe we can get up to 50% scoring.
Well, time will definitely tell, but best of luck to you tonight, Rundqvist, and thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, thank you, Nick.
Back to you guys.
Well, I, for one, very much appreciate all the references. Name-dropping one Virgil van Dijk, soon to be champion of the Premier League, whenever that league resumes. Come on, Liverpool. That's it. And as we get a look at the goaltending matchups thus far, of course, we talked about Rundqvist all season long and whether or not he'd be able to turn it on for the playoffs. And needless to say, he did just that. Phenomenal performance, all things considered, which again to us isn't really surprising. We knew he was better than what the stats had shown, and an 86 save percentage against the number 1 seed was absolutely fantastic. But on the flip side, he has the face of season 10, and justifiably so. It's Kappa. And again, you want to talk about phenomenal performances, I mean, it might not get better than the man between the pipes for Färjestad, not for Färjestad, excuse me, for Linköping.
Yeah, and sometimes, it's stats can be misleading, especially when it comes to the regular season. You can kind of get blinded by them, and that's part of the reason we kept having to talk up Rundqvist. The eye test was all about this guy being one of the best goaltenders, and here he is in the playoffs proving it. And it comes to Kape, not the most impressive regular season stats either, only hovering around an 80, 81 save percentage. But here in these big moments, that's when good goaltenders step up their game and make those extra saves. And as you can see from Kape and Rundqvist, both their save percentage shooting up there. I mean, that speaks for itself. These guys are big game performers, and here they are going head to head.
A premier matchup between the pipes. That said, before we get ready to go, F5 Penguin yet again able to conduct a quick interview with Kape as well. Very intrigued to see what his thoughts and opinions are of this matchup heading in again to the semifinal that will be underway in just a matter of minutes. Nick, take it away.
Hey, thanks, guys. I'm here now with arguably, some may say, one of the best goalies in the ECL. We are talking to Kape. Thank you for taking some time today, sir.
No problem.
So let's get into it real quick. After the last couple of series that you've had, the last couple of games you had, how confident are you going into this particular series?
Yeah, we feel pretty confident. Our game has been strong lately, so when we beat Roots 4-0, I think all of the guys in our group felt confident, also going into the semifinals now. We're facing a good team in Färjestad, but I think that we have a pretty good chance of winning the series.
Yeah, and you mentioned, a good team on the other side of the ice for sure, but of course you're the clear favorite in this particular matchup. Let me ask you, how do you avoid falling into maybe the same trap that Yip did in their matchup against Färjestad?
I think that it's a little bit different because our team, we have players that have played together for many seasons, like Ekipli and Patlat have played together for, I think it's 4 ECL seasons soon. So I think that we have a group of guys that have this connection that Yip doesn't have yet, because they have that's a bit of a new team, So I feel that we have a team that have played together for a long time, that have the chemistry and know how to deal with this kind of pressure.
Yeah, and the pressure obviously is something that is to be considered. Is this something that you want to be changing your game to play Färjestad, or you're going to keep doing the same thing that what got you to the success you have so far?
I think we will continue to play our same game. I think it's important to not adjust your game style so much to your opponent. I think that Färjestad will adjust their game plan because they play us. But I think that we should just continue to play as we have done recently, because our offense is pretty lethal, and our defense has been solid also. So I think that we should just continue to play the game that we have played recently, and I think that will work out pretty good for us.
I had a chance to talk with your opposing goaltender Rundqvist not too long ago, and he had nothing but high praises to give you, Kape. I do want to say that, but did say that have to work really hard to get some goals past you. A few words on your opponent goalie, Rundqvist, on the other side of the ice.
I think he's one of the best goaltenders in the team. You can see in the playoffs that he always steps up and plays at his highest level. We saw it in EASHL. We see it now in ECL. I think that Färjestad, they have a goalie to build around that can make them win in the future, but not this time, hopefully.
Time will definitely tell. The games will be happening shortly. Thank you so much, Kape. Best of luck to you tonight.
Thank you.
Back to you in the studio.
All right, Sin, Nick, well done on that front. But Sin, as we get down to business here again, puck drop just a few moments away for game 1 of this series. We take a look at the keys to success for both teams. I'm going to kick things off here with Färjestad. Now, we already talked about him, Sin. But Bastion, a little bit under the radar. Now, we're going to talk about Playmaker a lot. We already have. But Playmaker, leading the ECL Elite Division in goals in the regular season while shooting 36.7%. But who led that shooting percentage category in the regular season? Sin, I'll answer that for you. Don't worry. That would be Bastion at an absurd 41.2%. And that efficiency has continued in the postseason. 2 goals on 3 shots in the first round. That said, FBK are going to need more shots out of them and certainly more goals if they're going to keep pace. Our second key, of course, here. Defense first. Shoot never. We talked about the different strategy between the defensemen on these two teams. And FBK, their defense, they're still playing to that mantra. They had 36 shots combined in the regular season. They only had 3 shots in that first round matchup against Jyväskylä, although Rubitus did score on one of those shots, a crucial goal at that. It is a completely different strategy, again, from what we see out of Linköping. And then, Sin, perhaps most importantly, new and improved really is the best way to describe Färjestad. They allowed a 3.27 goals per game, or goals against per game in the regular season. That's down to a 1.6. They cut the number in half, which is just mind-boggling when you consider that they were playing the number 1 seed. They also lowered their shots allowed per game from 13.3 in the regular season to 11.6 thus far in the playoffs, nearly 2 full shots fewer per game. Now, their team defense, of course, is going to be taken to the limit. Linköping leading the league with 18 shots per game in the regular season and averaging 4.3 goals per, 4 per game, which is just outstanding numbers. But again, we've talked about it, the unbelievable journey with Färjestad, how they made it here. But again, Sin, it's a whole new challenge. Switching things over to the Linköping side of things. Sin, break it down for us.
Well, first and foremost, it's going to take a full team effort. Playmaker led the way, in the season with 58 goals, which was 15 more than the guy in second place. That's an absurd number. Oh, and if you want the wing, the other 2 guys, Eki, Patslav, were numbers 1 and 2 in assists. Plee and Eki top 2 in points. I mean, you can go on and on and on. The back end, Jay Toro and Loimu were both top 2 in scoring for a defenseman, and then of course, Kape between the pipes. I mean, there really isn't a weak link on this team. And when they are on their game, which we have seen all 4 games against Roots, they were right where they needed to be. It's very tough to see this team falling short. And that brings us to the next key here. No slowing down. Playmaker, he hasn't slowed down really at all here in the playoffs. 7 goals for in those 4 games. And in the regular season, he had the 6th best shooting percentage, 36.7%. In the postseason, keeping it, consistent, 38.9%, 7 goals on 18 shots, and he has 3 out of the 4 game winners for Linköping. I mean, that could spell some bad news for FBK. And again, if they target on him, there's so many other threats, and that brings us to the next one, the scoring threats. 9 starters average at least 1 goal per game in the regular season, 3 of them on the ice tonight. Plee, Eki, and of course, Afe of FBK. We'll see, the latter 2 live up to the expectations. I think it's going to be on, FBK. Can they find ways to get through Linköping's defense like they did on Jyväskylä and really find those holes to score on? Because I don't think they're going to be able to keep Linköping off the scoreboard entirely.
Again, Färjestad pulling off a monumental upset to get to this stage. They take down the number 1 seed, and now they need to look to take down our defending champions in Linköping. Again, we'll be covering the first 2 games of this series here in this broadcast. Games 3 and 4 for both series will be covered on Wednesday as well. Same bat time, same bat channel. Thursday as well, if needed, to cover the remainder of these series as we see who will be moving on to the finals. Again, the first 2 games coming at you here in just a few moments between Färjestad and Linköping. Later on in this broadcast, we'll have the other matchup for you with HAVU Gaming and hREDS. And again, another big thank you to our broadcast partner, F5 Penguin, for conducting those interviews in spectacular fashion, if I might add. So, Sin, game 1, just moments away. Can Färjestad do it? I mean, you've talked a lot about their mentality in that first series. oh, we're not even expected to be here. This is going to be fine. And that casual approach, that, no pressure approach worked out for them so well. But now, I don't know, maybe there are some expectations. You pulled off one upset, and now all of a sudden the spotlights are that much brighter where people are looking at you and saying, well, you might be able to do it again. It's unlikely, but it was unlikely that you did it the first time.
Yeah, and Linköping in the regular season a couple times we saw them have a tendency to almost sit back, but I think they're more dangerous when they're most aggressive. So if Linköping can stay aggressive throughout this and keep their forecheck going and not kind of sit back, I think that will continue to benefit them. But at the same time, Färjestad, they always seem to find a way to counterattack. So I don't know. It's going to be tough no matter what, but you got to know they have a game plan. You got to know they study tape on Linköping, and they're going to have a strategy. This is another one where they're not going to dominate the puck possession. They're going to be, the underdogs. So look for them to be finding ways to kind of get their chances and try to capitalize on them with the ruthless efficiency we saw throughout that first round.
It was a good first opening draw win there for Misa. Again, the face-off battle, something that we talked about. Färjestad still in possession here. Afe able to hold on to that one. Totali now at the point. Again, Färjestad don't take many shots with their defensemen. We'll see if that changes as an errant pass goes all the way back down to the FBK zone. So again, game one here. Färjestad in possession of it right now. Linköping, the home team in the blue and red. Opportunity here for Färjestad. Loose puck out of the side of the net. Recovered yet again down in the corner. Misa has it. Looking for space in front. Afe had it for a moment, but a good defensive display there. Great pinch by Totali to help win back possession. And Sin, thus far, it's been the reverse of what we might expect. Rubitus's shot deflects just wide, and Linköping back in possession now. Eki finds playmaker, quick pass to Patslov. Great puck movement, but quickly cut out, and they recover again. Plee throws it in front, loose puck, still there, and Rundqvist is able to find it and cover it. So one opportunity for Linköping, and it nearly found its way in.
Yeah, kind of a sauce pass that just sort of banked around on Rundqvist, who was fortunate enough to kind of find it behind him before anyone else could get to it. But here, Linköping able to sustain pressure once again.
Space here down low in the corner. It's Playmaker looking for Eki in front. The rocket pass just in the go. Slap shot blocked down. Second chance off the side of the net for Playmaker. He's back in possession again around the back. Finds Patslov. Big save. Second chance and a third. Eki's able to find the back of the goal. The birthday boy kicks off the scoring. Linköping, Sin, there's the difference. A little bit of established offense for Färjestad. They can't take advantage. Established offense for Linköping. It's 1-0 for the defending champs.
Yeah, and that was just deadly from Linköping. The forwards, I mean, they were just all around the net, positioning themselves where they needed to be. And yeah, that's the difference there. Linköping able to box out a bit in their own zone, keep Färjestad away from those high pressure scoring areas. But that, Färjestad defense just kind of looked overwhelmed right there by Linköping's pressure, and Eki getting the opening goal here. And maybe they're looking for more. A good face-off win right there from Patslov. And they're right back in.
He's down in the corner now with it. Finds Eki. One-timer from the point. Great chance there for Jay Toro. Rundqvist able to strike back and make the save. Call him Rundqvist. Call him Rundqvist. All I'm saying is it would be very awkward at this point to call him Henrik Lundqvist. That's all I'm saying, at least from the North American perspective. This one offside with 11:23 to go here in the first period. Again, game one of the ECL Elite Division semifinal matchup. Of course, the Elite Division here, the best of the best that Europe has to offer. And very excited, of course, to see how this one plays out. The first two games being covered here. Again, we will be back on Wednesday. So, of course, drop us a follow here on Twitch if you haven't already. Space here for Playmaker. Opportunity. Tried the near side. It's off the back of the net, though. Again, Färjestad having a little bit of trouble trying to get the puck out of their own zone. Incomplete pass there. Afe not able to pick that one up. So we'll see if Linköping are able to work their way through. Playmaker down low in the corner, tries to throw it back in front. Eki's there, unable to find it though. Playmaker has it again. The puck magnetized to his tape. Jay Toro can't get that shot through. Bit of space here for Afe to work. He can find the pass. He finds Bastian in front, blocked down. Great chance. They tried to find Rubitus. The rare shot. Eki, rebound chance, poked away by Rundqvist. No opportunity for Patslov on the second chance. Rubitus forced to send this one back. Patslov extremely aggressive on the forecheck right now for a centerman. A chance here again, though. Färjestad trying to get this puck cleanly out of their zone. Playmaker is able to win it back. Throws it in front. Patslov couldn't get all of it. Lundqvist able to make that stop and poke that one aside. Here comes Färjestad again. They got off to a good start, but it's been a bit of a slow-going momentum here offensively in the past couple of minutes. Puck around the back of the net. Recovered yet again by Misa. Has a few opportunities. Back to the point. D to D. Shot blocked down in front yet again. Affe can't win the puck away from Potzloff. Under 4 minutes to go now here in the first. Playmaker. Couple of options. Finds Eki down low. Back to the point. Quick D to D pass. J Toro looked to step in. And the space quickly evaporated. Affe's pass is off the mark in response. Linköping right back on the attack. Playmaker back to the point. D to D yet again. A delayed call here against Färjestad. Chance here now. Potzloff. Look at the puck movement here from Linköping. J Toro down for Potzloff. Throws it. Tried to find Eki. He couldn't do it. But Sin, rough going here for Färjestad. They go to the penalty kill here. That is going to be Totali who will be taking a seat.
Yep, and ever since the early kind of pressure and flurry that Färjestad had at the beginning of the period, it's been all Linköping that seemed to kind of, snap them out of a whatever sort of slumber you could call it in the first couple minutes, and they have been on fire here, dominating the possession battle, and now a power play to work with, but a good face-off win there by Misa to kind of, relieve some of the pressure here. I'm wondering if Färjestad's going to try to attack here, but they just opt for the clear right there and will drop back into coverage.
Quick final minute will certainly help the penalty kill. Over the line here, though, Eki tried to find Playmaker. Good job there on the back pressure. Bastian now has it for Färjestad. Elected to try and pass. Turns it over as a result. One more rush opportunity here for Linköping. Potzloff able to find J Toro. Back for Potzloff. Can't get the shot off. Second chance poked away. J Toro still keeping it alive, but time will expire. So a good opening 5 minutes or so for Färjestad, but the second Linköping was able to reverse the momentum. They capitalized, they get a goal, and it was all Linköping from that point onward.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great opening from Färjestad. They needed to kind of maybe even score on that, judging by how the tail end of this period went. It was all Linköping. The second they got that advantage, they sustained it, and that's kind of the difference between them and EASHL, right? I mean, Färjestad kept finding ways to counterattack, but the second that, Linköping kind of thinks that they'll get beat to that loose puck, they will all start dropping back into coverage, covering those passing lanes, making sure that Affe's not going to get around him for those Omaha kind of deep passes. And, well, there's the stat line speaks for itself. 6 registered shots for Linköping, just 1 for Färjestad, which wasn't necessarily a problem against EASHL, but so far here, it has been because they're not getting those A-plus scoring chances. That one shot they had, I can't even really remember, what it was. And, that's the eye test we always talk about is, sometimes less deceiving than the stats. And, from that first period, Linköping completely in the driver's seat. They'd probably prefer an extra goal here, but, still 2 more periods left. Färjestad can come back, but if Linköping plays the rest of the game as they played the tail end of that first period, it's going to be very hard for Färjestad to find a counter here, and Linköping, a bit of carryover power play time as well.
Again, as Sin mentioned, Färjestad outshot 58-25 in their first round matchup against number 1 seed EASHL, yet they still won. So it's always been about making the most of their opportunities as opposed to dominant offensive possession, which really is, unfortunately, the name of the game for Linköping. So certainly 2 different styles going head-to-head. 5 seconds left on this power play. That will kill off the time. We're back to even strength. To tally the right defenseman for Färjestad back out there. So a good kill, all things considered. J Toro's shot can't find its way through. Potzloff able to get it back to the point off of a deflection bid. Eki has it. Playmaker space. Can't get the shot through, though. Good job there again for Färjestad. Couple of quick passes now, trying to find a little bit of space. Bastian having to circle back a little bit, trying to find the openings, but Sin, easier said than done with the Linköping trap game. As ultimately, though, Bastian is able to find that bit of space, but he's not able to go anywhere from there. J Toro was right there to stand him up. Eki, opportunity here. Space, takes it down into the corner, finds Potzloff, quick give and go. Opportunity now at the point. Loimu able to send it down low. Now it's J Toro. Look at the movement from LHC as the pass to Eki doesn't go, but he's able to win back possession. J Toro, slap shot, save, rebound, big save by Rundqvist, robbing Playmaker on the doorstep. Again, easier said than done against the top goal scorer in the ECL.
A huge save right there. That really helps Färjestad. It was getting ugly once again, but again, Linköping with the face-off win. The pressure will continue.
Playmaker nearly picks the corner. Second chance off the side of the net. He has the puck back again. Looking, Loimu, shot blocked, maybe found its way to Rundqvist. He was able to make the save. Big spin there from Affe, but again, no space. Bastion fighting for it, not able to maintain possession. Eki was there to help out Loimu. Now here's Playmaker in the zone yet again. Throws it in front. Tried to get it to Loimu, who still has it. Eki able to recover. Finds Jade Toro. Pass over to Potzloff. Doesn't find its way, at least initially. And now Eki looking for that bit of space. Linköping all the time in the world to set up deflection in front. He scores! What a shot. Tremendous timing. Potzloff tips it home. Linköping up by 2.
The puck movement is just unreal, and it's not just the puck movement either. It's their movement away from the puck. If you look at their forwards, they're kind of always scurrying around, always looking for soft spots, getting themselves open into shooting locations, etc., so forth. And that time, it's Potzloff finding that little soft area in front of the net to get the deflection, and just like that, Linköping ahead 2-0, and another face-off win, more possession. They're looking for more.
Space for Playmaker, denied on the backhand. Great job by Rundqvist yet again. Space for Jay Toro, denied. Loose puck is covered. Rundqvist getting a workout in this one, but still keeping Linköping to just 2 at least so far.
Yeah, big credit to Rundqvist. He's made a couple phenomenal saves to keep the puck out. It could easily be 4-0 right now, and Färjestad really feeling the pressure of the defending champs right here as unfortunately it'll go back here. They'll have to reset, but they haven't really had much of a problem entering the zone.
Playmaker, a little bit of contact at the line, but they're able to maintain possession. Loimu, quick step, drops back for Potzloff. Playmaker, a second chance off the loose puck. Not able to find its way to the back of the net on this occasion. Färjestad, just one shot at this point. Great back-checking pressure there, but they're still in possession. Bastion, bit of space. Rubitas, back for Totali. Again, we don't see many shots from Färjestad's defenseman. Bastion tries to pass in front. It doesn't go, and Kape will be able to find it and cover, and perhaps some frustration there shown by Affe here as we're over the halfway point of the second period.
Yeah, he's not really finding the space, but this is a big opportunity. Miza, good on faceoffs. Can he sustain some pressure with his team? Oh, what a move.
Tremendous step up there by Jay Toro. He still has an opportunity off the pad, and no second chance. Great job by Affe to help out the goaltender. Here's Bastion, able to find Rubitas, but again, Färjestad right now struggling to find space. They do, but an incomplete pass from Miza is not going to help their situation. Here's Eki now. Space. Potzloff just can't get a clean shot off. Good opportunity. They send Affe. He's going to read it clean in the zone. Doesn't pick it up off the opportunity, though. Bastion was able to fight for it. Great hit from Miza to keep it alive. Rubitas. Totali shot. Can't find its way through the traffic. 3 minutes to go now. Here's Eki. Playmaker on the break. Scores! As you would expect him to do. Playmaker has had a season to remember, and that scoring touch isn't going anywhere anytime soon. The defending champs up 3-0 now.
And this is what makes Linköping so dangerous. They will make you pay in every single way possible. Their offensive zone pressure, relentless. Their counterattack, absolutely deadly, as we see there from Playmaker getting in alone, one-on-one versus Rundqvist. And we heard him in the interview. He can face some breakaways. There's a few guys who scares him. I'd say Playmaker's got to be one of those, getting that goal right there, and it's 3-0 Linköping.
Potzloff back to the point, delayed call, saved by Rundqvist, but it will be another power play opportunity for Linköping. That's going to be Totali going to the box for the second time in this game. Linköping not able to take advantage of the man advantage on that first occasion, and it's a slow start here as Miza wins another crucial defensive draw. Turnover by Bastion. Eki able to hold on to it. Potzloff back for Eki. Loose puck recovered by Rubitas. He'll try to send it down. Eki's able to block it. Recovered by Affe. Now here's Miza. He'll drop back into the neutral zone. Under a minute and a half to go here in the second period. Rubitas tries to fend off the pressure. Dangerous game from Färjestad, but effective thus far. The man advantage half over. Final minute to play here in the second. The time will continue to tick down that much more quickly. Great movement here from Färjestad on the kill. Not exactly holding it back in their own zone. More playing it through the neutral zone, which is a much better idea. All things considered, the turnover is less dangerous.
Absolutely.
Tries to find space, not to cut you off there. Sin, 8 seconds to play. You never know when Linköping are going to be able to turn defense into offense. This one's sent down, but Sin, that'll do it. A strong second period from the champs. It's 3-0 heading into the third period of game 1.
Yeah, and they've doubled their goal output of the first, and it's a tough situation to be in if you're Färjestad. As we said, Linköping has so many ways they can make you pay with their offensive zone pressure. They can set up for the one-timers, they can go for the rebounds, they can go for the deflections, they can hurt you on the counterattack, and that's kind of what makes them so deadly and why, they are the defending champs. They have so many different weapons and all over the ice. And Färjestad, we only see one sort of Omaha chance from them that kind of worked, and, it was so few and far between that Afe kind of, he didn't misread the puck, but he kind of misread his puck pickup. And my goodness, look at that stat line. 16 shots to 1, doubling the time on attack. I mean, that kind of speaks for itself. We talk about the eye test being more important than the stats, but in this case, Linköping has both through 2 periods. And Färjestad having, trouble keeping up with the defending champs. But as I was saying, even on that kind of stretch play, Afe, so desperate to try to get some space. He tried to pick it up and move off the wall quickly, but he didn't quite pick up the puck. And that seems to be the name of the game for Färjestad right now. They're just a little bit off in their execution because they're having to kind of play from behind and not just on the scoreboard, but just behind in the game. Linköping just kind of a half a step ahead of them in all things.
I think the issue is whether or not you call it an Omaha, like Sin and I do, the slap pass off the back wall. Call it what you will. Call it the Sedin play, the Pettersson play. I know the Swedes and the Finns, they each have their own name for it. I think everyone has their own name for it. But with Linköping knowing that that's going to be one of the primary forms of a breakout for Färjestad, it makes it that much easier to kind of read. It's just whether or not you're able to stop it. And with Linköping, you simply can't stop this offense. Playmaker finds Potzloff in front. It's 4-0. Potzloff, the captain, is second of the game.
And there it is. I think we've seen one type of every single goal here. That's a one-timer. We've seen a breakaway. We've seen a deflection. We've seen a rebound. And Linköping they're in cruise control. And it's kind of crazy that they're in cruise control so early here, but this team just seems to not have an off switch. They are a machine when they're working together. They play as one, and here they are as one, taking a 4-0 lead here, and there's more time left. We know they're not going to sit back. They're not that kind of team. They want more. They're going to try to get everyone onto the scoring sheet at this point. And Färjestad, they got to stop the bleeding somehow.
Absolutely. Again, when it comes to the stats, perhaps a mental game if Linköping were to move on to the final yet again with the opportunity at defending their championship still alive. You don't want someone to be able to look at the stat line and say, oh, well, this guy's underperforming just because they let off the gas in the middle of a series. It's not something they're going to do. As Playmaker, not able to hold on to that one, but he is able to regather the loose puck. Sauces it in front, but he can't find a teammate. Färjestad right now essentially trying to play for pride, trying to really find a way to get somewhat of an offensive foothold. Again, the first 5 minutes of this game were pretty strong for them, but that was a long time ago. Eki with a bit of space. Loose puck is recovered by Färjestad. They tried the quick out for Afe, but Sin, you may have seen it there. Loimu and J. Toro were both back and ready to defend as Maiza tries to hold on to this one. He can't do it. Numbers for Linköping. Playmaker can't work his way past Totali. Rubitus is able to recover in the corner. Maiza now on the break. A potential 3-on-2, but a great bit of hustle shown by the Linköping forwards as they get back. One-timer for Rubitus doesn't go. Playmaker, bit of space, the opportunity off the pads. Second chance, though. Puck still alive. Tried to throw it back in front again. Good defense by Rubitus. 8 minutes gone here in the third period. Space now here. Maiza can't get it through. Bastian has it. Tried to get it in front. Potzloff, great job on defense. Here's Eki, now Playmaker yet again. Has made his mark in this game. J. Toro for Loimu. Good save by Rundqvist. Good hip check there, but Linköping still in possession. Eki tried the wrap around and got buried for his troubles. Shot on, stopped by Rundqvist. 9:50 to go here in the third period. Linköping as dominant as one might have expected.
Yeah, and I mean, just, yeah, you mentioned how Jay Toro and Loimu were back to cover the potential, the Omaha there. It was Playmaker actually with the defensive skill stick to even stop the slap pass from happening. I mean, they've studied their opponents too, and they are ready for anything that Färjestad has to throw at them. And again, just a mark of a fantastic team, and you're getting a glimpse of why they're the defending champs. And just, it's a clinical performance here in game one, and I don't see them slowing down anytime soon. 21 shots to 1. That's a ridiculous stat.
Unbelievable space here. Bastion's pass can't find its intended target. When you want to talk about the offensive game, though, for Linköping, Playmaker picking up his first assist or 2 of this postseason, 7.7 goals. Heading into this game, he's in possession of it now with a bit of space to work. What sends it across for Potzloff, who can't get the shot on. Playmaker again now down in the corner, loses it on the double team. 6.5 to play. Afe tries to work his way through. No space. Miza down low to recover. But again, nothing there. It actually might have been Totali who was down low. Miza dropping back in defense. Rubitas the hit on Eki, but Playmaker's going to recover it down low. Space. Jay Toro, Potzloff in front. He scores! Unbelievable resilience to stick with that one. And Linköping just add to this ridiculous beatdown that we're seeing in game one.
Yeah, great play once again. They're like vultures around the net, the low cycle, the shots, the rebounds. They're always looking for those loose pucks. They are always hungry, no matter the score. And right there, it's Potzloff not giving up on that play, taking several whacks at it. And Rundqvist doing his best to kind of stay in position and read the play, but gets caught sliding a tiny bit there as Potzloff just is unable to be moved from that crease. 5-0 for Linköping. Not too much time left. This one is well and truly over. The only question is, do Linköping want more goals?
Potzloff with 1 goal in that first round matchup for Linköping against Roots, as Eki tried the tuck there, inside his own blue line. Potzloff the hat trick in this game. The captain leading by example. Playmaker sends that one around the back. It'll be recovered, but Bastion has trouble. Eki loses it on the double team. 3 minutes to go here in game one. Again, game two coming at you in just a matter of moments. Opportunity here for Bastion. Good move. Throws it in front. Loose puck. Afe on the doorstep. Had a chance. Don't know if that was a registered shot at the end of the day. Again, game two coming up in just a matter of moments. And later on in this very broadcast, we'll be covering the first 2 games of the other semifinal matchup between HAVU Gaming, last year's runner-up, and hREDS. So a chance here, final minute, Färjestad just looking to get on the board, but it's a 2-on-1, potentially a 3-on-1. Slap pass doesn't go as Eki banks it off the back of the net. Playmaker, bit of space, finds Loimu the shot, blocked down by Afe, and a chance here now for Färjestad. Can they do something on the rush? The answer is no. Huge hit there, no call, as this one is offside with 35 seconds to play.
Yeah, and Linköping, I mean, talk about not quitting, talk about not sitting back. They're still looking to produce offense. They're still looking to catch the Färjestad, team getting a bit aggressive. They almost had it right there. Great sauce to the middle for Loimu, and he entered the zone. Just a bit of a miscommunication there on the entry. They couldn't quite enter cleanly.
Afe trying to make his way over the line. He can't do it. Eki rolling with an injury right now, but don't think it's going to phase him too much. Afe trying to use the speed, throws it in front. Loose puck fought on for, but recovered. Jay Toro leads the counterattack. Playmaker now tried to find Potzloff. Good interception from Rubitas. Able to find Miza, but a little bit of trouble there at the opposing line. Final 7 seconds to go. They'll let the time expire. Sin, a dominant performance from the defending champions to start this one off. 5-0 is your final score. And unlike that first series with, Färjestad and Jypi Vaskala, where Färjestad were able to essentially shock the esports world by pulling off that upset in 5 games, not the start that you would have wanted, as opposed to taking the first 2 games of a series, you lose game 1 and in dominant fashion.
Yeah, and it's a pretty rough situation for Färjestad, but Linköping was just looked unstoppable in that game. I mean, we're thinking, Färjestad should be able to find some of those gaps, but Linköping played with so much pride on the defensive end. It didn't matter how many close calls Färjestad was getting, because there's 4 or 5 of those dark blue jerseys in front of the net playing for Kappe. It didn't matter what the score was; they were still going to play for their goaltender. I mean, you talk about playing as a unit, talking about wanting to get everyone in on the scoring action. They do the same for their goaltender. They're playing for their goaltender stats as well. And it's a scary thing when a team is that good and they're constantly playing for pride, even when they're up by 5 goals. I mean, it's the mark of a champion, and they're making a strong case for being able to not only defend but maintain their title this season.
Absolutely. I mean, when you talk about Kape, coming into this matchup with a rounded up 87% save percentage, you kind of see why. I mean, it is obviously a full team effort, and just such a dominant performance to neutralize any high-quality chances whatsoever. Didn't get a look at the final shooting stats there for Färjestad and whether or not there were, 2, maybe even 3 shots. But again, just 1 registered shot through the opening 40 minutes of play, and it didn't really improve by all that much from there. So for Linköping, as dominant of a performance as you would have expected, not much, if anything, that they need to look to change. But Sin, for Färjestad, what can you do, especially after being on the receiving end of that much of a one-sided loss?
I'm not too sure, because their main point of attack, their counterattack was completely nullified by Linköping, and just how well they played defensively as a unit. And J-Tor and Loimu, while they're very offensively gifted. Loimu especially, he had a tremendous regular season, led defenseman in goals, but in that one we only saw him getting into the action when they had already established that zone time. Both J-Tor and Loimu were very, very aware of that long stretch pass potential, and they were always back if they saw Afe even think about, looking to get himself down the ice quicker than them. So just great awareness from them. And yeah, if you're Färjestad, I don't know, start throwing stuff at the net and see what happens is my only thing, because I'm looking at what Linköping's doing, and it is so hard to find any sort of gap in their team play. That was just a clinical first game performance by them.
Absolutely. As you get a look at the updated bracket again, Linköping taking game 1 in convincing fashion, perhaps as you would expect the 2 seed to be able to do against the 8 seed. But as we mentioned, Färjestad here for a reason. But despite it only being a 1-0 series deficit in this best of 7, it already feels like a long road back. And again, as mentioned, the battle of 3 and 4, HAVU and hREDS, the first 2 games of that series coming up a little bit later on in this broadcast. Again, we will be back on Wednesday as well for games 3 and 4 of each of these series. And then on Thursday, if necessary, we'll be bringing to you the remainder of whatever unconcluded series remain as we look to find out who is going to be moving on to the final. Again, the ECL Elite Division Season 10. What a season it's been so far, but we're not done yet. And of course, NHLGamer.com for all the information that you need on the ECL, whether it be the Elite Division, our lower 3 tiers. There's still a lot going on in the playoffs in those lower 3 tiers. Relegation battles coming up as well. There is still a lot to play for here in this ECL season. So again, Sin, we are just moments away from puck drop here, game 2. You talked about it for Färjestad. What can they do to get back into this series? I think the issue is, you look at the defense and you say, oh, maybe just, try to throw more shots on. They tried that. Ultimately, some miscommunications, but you do that. Linköping's so good at blocking down shots, and you risk, the counterattacking opportunities. We saw that with Playmaker's goal when you feed the puck to the point against a team like Linköping. It really is a struggle right now after a game like that to say, okay, this is how Färjestad works their way back in, because as you said, Linköping have them scouted quite clearly. Afe double-teamed anytime he tried to find space down the ice. Not quite sure. Ultimately, we're still unsure what happened with the Vasco and how Färjestad were able to catch them that far off guard for 5 games. But ultimately, again, you look at a team like Linköping, and I think this was mentioned as well. I think Kape was the one to bring it up. You talk about Jyväskylä, their experience compared to Linköping. It doesn't necessarily compare, despite the fact that Jyp are a very, very talented team, obviously, as taking the number 1 seed would indicate. But for Linköping right now, there really were no weaknesses. And for Färjestad, if you're left to just be like, okay, throw pucks on, try to force it in front and hope good things happen, that's not exactly a recipe for success.
No, and that's like, again, you're sort of, it's almost like they were at the end of the season. You're almost waiting on other people to make mistakes, and that's not, a recipe for success. As you said, it's not a winning strategy, but I mean, there's a lot of things that they need to clean up. I mean, their passes through the neutral zone were not quite clean. There's a lot of, open looks that they had that they simply mistimed or completely missed, with their saucer passes, just led the player a bit too much, and it was an easy intercept for Linköping. But the same thing, I mean, Linköping always had themselves defensively in a position to pick up the puck, but also if they don't pick off the puck, they're still in position to maintain the gap on their check in the neutral zone. I mean, it's going to be tough for Färjestad to get through. So maybe some dump and chase here. I don't know. I mean, they love the stretch passes. Maybe throwing some dump and chase. I mean, we saw Afe pretty good with the hip check. That's a great strategy. If you dump that puck behind the net, you send in a speedy winger like that to get the hip check off. You not only move the player out of the way, but you also get a puck pickup too. And then maybe have two guys crash in the net and just. I don't know, but it's tough when you're Färjestad. You're looking for these moments of opportunity, whereas Linköping seems to have 2/3 of the game of opportunities because of just how strong they are in the offensive zone. It's an uphill battle no matter what for Färjestad. We'll see what they're able to do here in game 2, though.
One could argue Linköping had 55 minutes worth of the last game. We'll see whether or not they're able to repeat that performance. Färjestad, of course, in the green. Linköping in the white and blue. See what happens here. Good chance for Färjestad early. Loose puck. Fought on for by Bastion, but J. Toro able to come up with it. So a good early chance there. Nearly catching Linköping off guard. Stretch pass intercepted by Maiza. So already another decent start for Färjestad, all things considered. Maiza in the corner. Throws it in front. Blocked down in front. That was a great chance for Bastion there. Big stretch pass. Does not go. This will go for icing, so a chance here, Sin, off an offensive zone face-off for Maiza to win this and maybe generate some offense.
Yeah, another good beginning of the period for Färjestad here. We'll see if they can capitalize, whereas they weren't able to last time, and then Linköping sort of took over. Maybe Färjestad can build off of this.
Good tie up there. Toro not able to come up with it. Does get a piece of that one. Shot by Bastion, denied by Kappa. Good opportunity here. Back to the point. D to D, trying to find a little bit of space. Rubitas will be able to recover this one. Tried to hit Maiza down low, just wasn't able to pick it up. Free possession here for Linköping. See if they can find a pass. A couple of big hits there from Färjestad, but not able to maintain possession. Playmaker, a little bit of room. Doorstep chance for Loimu. Couldn't get all of it. Decent shot on the counter. Here's Afe, though, but you see 3-on-1. Able to find Maiza. Bastion, a little bit of trouble. Great job by Eki on the back check. Now it's Playmaker looking to find space. Eki has it, denied by the blocker. Still, though, Linköping on the attack. J. Toro looking for space, can't find a pass. And now again, a big stretch pass for Afe. Has Loimu with them, though. Afe he fakes the spin. Unbelievable stuff there. Doesn't result in a goal, though. Bastion off the interception. Here's Rubitas. Now in the corner, it's Afe again. Down low, Maiza has some options here. A little bit of trouble with J. Toro. Now it's Rubitas. Again, back down to the centerman. Good possession, good movement here. Thrown in front, Afe denied. Kappa able to make the save. But Sin, much better from Färjestad here through the opening 9 minutes or so.
Yeah, I mean, they're able to sustain some of the pressure. They're able to get better looks, but they also have to try to deal with Linköping's collapse, which so far has been very strong. They're not allowing those passes through, but you keep trying at this, you might find a hole. Färjestad, they got to keep maintaining this pressure, but a good face-off win right there from Patslov. So Linköping might be able to get it out here.
And they do. Eki able to find Playmaker over the line. Now again, back to the winger. Good work here from Linköping. Shot on, denied. Rundqvist able to track that one easily. No deflection bid in front. So an offensive zone draw coming up here for Linköping. Patslov again. We talked about it. Really strong face-off numbers, nearly 57% in the regular season. But the numbers down through that opening round matchup. But he's able to win one cleanly here. Eki bumped off the puck. Chance for Färjestad now in the counterattack. Maiza tries to hold on to it at the point. Finds space. Afe. Chance. And again, Rubitas just couldn't get all of that one. Huge opportunity for Afe in that smaller build to nearly work his way behind the defense. It was extremely close. Here's Afe. He's on the breakaway. Scores! Färjestad strike first. Afe finally finds some space. And Sin, that is exactly what they needed.
That is exactly what they needed. Finally, he gets some space, and in typical Afe style, he doesn't make a mistake. He buries a goal, and I want to kind of bring something up. I think it was Jay Toro there who kind of dove, tried to actually trip him in the neutral zone so they would actually go to the kill, end the play, and not have to face a penalty shot either. A smart try right there. Good awareness from Linköping, but Afe showing why he's so dangerous with that little amount of space and that faster build right there, and that's what Linköping has been so worried about through all of this. But a great job by Afe. He takes a lap and applauding. That Selly always makes me crack up right there, but just really good job from Färjestad there, and they have their first lead of the series, 1-0 in the first.
Yeah, and Afe really a breakout star this season in his rookie year. 30 goals in 30 games in the regular season. That is now his 7th postseason goal. Power play opportunity coming up here. Loimu can't get it through us in. Right as we think Färjestad might be able to build up some momentum, it's an interference call. This one going against Afe. So from the scoreboard to being on the kill off of that slight bump.
Yeah, it's a pretty rough situation for him. I'm sure he thinks that was a bit of a soft call, especially for the playoffs, but nonetheless, a big kill coming up for Färjestad. We'll see if Linköping able to capitalize.
Defense wasn't their specialty, and it's tough to defend when you're going against that. Linköping tie it. Maybe the fastest power play goal I have ever seen. Unbelievable set play there. Potzloff strikes again.
That was absolutely ridiculous. It all happened so fast. Look at the movement everywhere. Everyone knowing where they need to go on that play. And, you know, if you're Linköping, you have a lot of plays like this. And, you know, you bring it out at the right time, such as this on the power play, the success rate. I mean, they probably even do numbers on the success rate. That's how just clinical this team can be right now. But a great play from them. A nice little tic-tac goal there and making short work of the power play, and now all tied up, and that's got to hurt for Färjestad. You have that moment where you're feeling good, and immediately Linköping finds a way to tie the game up.
A heartbreaker for FBK. 6 minutes to play here in the first period. For Afe, you go from 0 to 0. We'll see, though, how he responds, how both of these teams respond now to the score being tied. Eki not able to hold on to that one. Afe was able to recover. Rubitus will take his time. Afe trying to find space, but Playmaker was there. Eki able to recover possession. Down low for Play. Has a couple of options here. Tries the short side, and he gets it! What a heads-up play. What a goal for Playmaker. Cini always finds a way. Linköping double it up from 1-0 down to 2-1 up. Rundqvist got caught cheating.
He did get caught cheating. He had to respect that one time. I mean, the last goal was one of those one times where he was caught a bit off guard, and that time, you know, just trying to get over for that pass to do the best for his team. And, you know, he's got to trust his defense there to sort of cut out the wraparounds there. And Färjestad just not able to get there in time, but a very slick play by Playmaker there. And you can kind of almost sense the dominoes beginning to fall once again. Linköping, they have the momentum. They're starting to pick up steam. And, you know, once they have it, they are hard pressed to give it away.
Färjestad still 3 minutes remaining to try and get this game back under control. But of course, Linköping, ever a threat to score. Self-passes from Loimu. He has space poked away at the last minute. Afe now, looking for a little wiggle room here. Finds his way through for the moment. Gets tripped. Great job there by Afe to draw the call. Not sure who's going to the box. That would be Eki. So he'll be taking a seat. Great chance here for Färjestad on the power play.
Huge chance. They need a score right here. They were tied for third power play in the regular season. They are very strong in all things offense, but at the same time, I mean, Linköping, the second-rated penalty kill. They're going to be tough to score, and we'll see if Färjestad has a set play they want to use off the draw.
Absolutely, they do win it. Chance here, Rubitus, now Miza in the circle. Cuts back, one-time bomb from Bastian, doesn't go. Looked like a set play to me. Throw it in front, he scores! What a look, what a feed. Bastian able to find Afe. It's his second of the game, and Färjestad tie it on the man advantage.
They are not going to go away just yet. As soon as we thought Linköping was going to start to run away with it, Färjestad does what they do best and say, nope, we're not going away. We're going to capitalize on these opportunities. A huge feed there from Bastian to Afe, who once again sort of found the tiniest time and space, but that's all he needs. Buries it on the one-time Kape. Good reaction, but just can't beat that shot from in tight. Tie game 2-2. And Linköping, paying for their own mistakes now as well.
You give a team like Färjestad, who have been on this magical run, a little bit of space to get back into it, and look at what happens. Again, we talked about it with Färjestad. Last day of the season, they dropped the ball. They needed help to make sure they kept their 8th seed spot. They've made the most of it so far. And right now, they're hanging around in this one. Eki Patzloff not able to get the shot off. The backhand chance was wide open. Chance for Afe. 3 seconds to go. It gets poked away at the last moment. But Sin, an entertaining first period, to say the least. Back and forth action. Certainly different from what we witnessed for the majority of the previous game.
Yeah, I honestly felt like that was the end of the second period. With how much happened in that first period, it just felt like the game was already, more than half over. But I'm very glad we have 2 more periods of this game because, as you said, highly entertaining. And Färjestad not going away. They're that little puppy always nipping at your heels and always hanging around here. They kind of got, a bit blown out in that first one, maybe taken by surprise. In this case, though, they're finding the little bit of time and space. Maybe they're, they took a little bit of extra time after that first one to study Linköping, and they're getting their chances now. It's a tie game. Anything can happen. If they're able to pull off this victory here and the series is knotted up at 1 game apiece, they're in a great spot. And look at that. They actually have the shot advantage. Definitely finding more ways to get pucks on net here.
Absolutely. An adjustment of pass assist from Eki. Not something I don't think I've ever seen that before, son.
No, definitely not in the middle of a game. I mean, I haven't really touched my pass assist. I don't even know exactly what I would do with it if I were to adjust it. But Eki, I mean, again, all these guys so good. They know what they want. They know how to min-max. They're so good with their builds, with their off builds, no matter what. And, high stakes here. Linköping, again, they're really not going to take any chances. They want their destiny to be in their hands. So we'll see what happens here in this next period. Can Linköping take that lead back, or will Färjestad put some pressure on them?
An early offside here in the opening moments of the second period. Of course, shout out to F5 bringing up the NASCAR-esque tweaking of the settings. You'll love to see it. Shout out to F5's favorite driver, Brad Keselowski, for winning a race last night. NASCAR reference on an NHL esports stream. Shot just wide. Opportunity again for the point. Eki can't get that one through. Loimu was down in the offensive zone, and he still is struggling to recover. The opportunity here, but unfortunately, Färjestad just not able to work it through. Loimu again drops it back. J. Toro slap shot, glove save by Rundqvist. So a good stop there early on for Färjestad's netminder.
And he's Rundqvist's been feeling it early and often. Even though he allowed 5 in the first one, he made some tremendous saves right here. He gets a little bit more help defensively. Färjestad's in really good shape here, but they still have got to find a way to score. We'll see if they continue to be able to find that time and space. They got to watch out for that forecheck.
Stretch pass doesn't go. And as Tim, we talked about, the adjustments that Linköping were able to make. Färjestad, a team that has been able to make the adjustments necessary so far, which is why we see the scoreline that we've seen here. But look at this display. Eki, second chance for playmaker, doesn't go. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. Rundqvist able to make the stop. Second chance here. Puck still alive. Now down low. Opportunity again, doesn't quite go. Again, now here is the counter attack for Linköping. Playmaker tries it. Pots off a second chance. He'll keep it alive. See where they look to go with it. Now down low in the corner again. Opportunity. J. Toro's shot denied. Playmaker bumped off the puck and recovered now here. Maiza able to take his time. And we'll see what Färjestad are able to do. They look to set up, and again, the stretch pass just doesn't go. Linköping back in possession. J. Toro for Patzloff. Trying to work his way through. When he does, he gains the zone. Down along the half wall, finds Eki. Now it's Loimu at the point. Tries to work his way through. Double team coverage there, though. Loose puck and sent out. Chance here now. Again sent in. And struggling to hold on to it. Sen, you may have noticed as well as I did a slight adjustment in the colors. Throwing me off a little bit there. Huge hit. That's Bastion in the blue. And ultimately, Afe here has the puck now. A little bit of space to work with. Tries to get around Loimu when he does. Tried to send it over. Loose puck in! Unbelievable! Bastion is able to tuck it home. Färjestad grabbed the lead. It's 3-2.
it's no longer just coincidence. This team just seems to score whenever they get just the slightest amount of pressure here or the slightest of chances. A tough break right there for the defense. I believe that was Jay Toro, you know, just getting the pick off and then unfortunately losing it on the goaltender in the kind of magic bubble there in the crease. And it was Bastian just getting that shot off, sneaking it 5-hole, and just like that, Färjestad take back the lead 3-2. Linköping now gonna have to play catch up once again.
They never say die, Sin. Unbelievable turn of events. The loose puck in front that just sneaks past Kappe. Färjestad with the lead. Misa battling for this one. Chance again now, though, taken away, and Linköping have it. We'll see what Playmaker's able to do. Finds Jay Toro, loose puck, pops off, just couldn't get it back on target. Chance now here, Afe able to send it down low. Misa for Afe again. A little bit of space, but loses it on the spin to protect. Potzloff now for Eki, or for Playmaker, excuse me. Eki is with them, though. Rebound chance for Eki, nearly tucks it home. Well, Rundqvist is able to make the stop.
Yeah, and that was a tough play for Rundqvist because the rebound he thought was going to bounce out to the right where Eki was sitting, so he sort of shifted over there, and then the puck kind of dropped in the crease, and Eki almost got his stick on it, but a good recovery from Rundqvist.
One-timer denied by the blocker. Jay Toro, a great opportunity. They send it down just wide. Afe not going to be able to get that one. Huge face-off coming up here with 5:38 to go.
Yeah, and another strong, play by the defensive Linköping. Loimu, definitely one of the more offensive guys, very defensively aware right there, way far back in the zone to protect against that Omaha pass.
Chance here, Potzloff looking. It's Jay Toro back at the point, now down low for Playmaker. Good defense there by Totali, and here comes Bastian. Step up here, it's Rubatas, shot, rebound, scores! Färjestad have a fourth. Unbelievable. It's Bastian again. It's 4-2.
Great job to step up into the play by Rubatas. They don't get involved in the offense often. They don't shoot often, but when they do, it seems to somehow find the back of the net. A great play by Rubatas, shooting low for the pads, picked up by Bastian, who buries it on the rebound, and a 2-goal lead for Färjestad. Tuki, what is happening?
Sin, I'm not sure. This has been one of the most stunning turn of events I think I have ever seen. I mean, again, you talk about that first game and how it just looked like, okay, Färjestad, they had a chance for all of 5 minutes, and it was all Linköping from there. And in this one, it's a completely different team. I mean, I don't know what it is. Did Linköping let their foot off the gas? Is it a matter of Färjestad truly being a team, master tacticians in their way of adjusting to a team? I'm uncertain, but what I do know for sure is that we have ourselves a series. That is the only way to put it. Linköping on the attack here, but not for long, as Misa had that one for a moment. Space here for Playmaker, has Eki with them, drives the net, but draws the goal. It's going to be a Linköping power play. The trip being called here. That is Misa going to the box. In huge loss for Färjestad. Their center takes a seat.
Yeah, we'll see if Linköping has another good set play here. They should have the advantage on the draw with Misa in the box.
Absolutely, they win it clean. Quick pass, Potzloff couldn't get all of it. Second chance for Eki. Third chance doesn't go. Playmaker for Loimu deflects wide. Eki down low in the corner. Has Potzloff again. Playmaker tried the slap shot. Shot from Loimu denied. Huge saves from Rundqvist. This one, a good fake there to open up space for Rubatas. Chance again. Kept alive. Here's Playmaker. Tries to find Eki down low, and he has it in the corner. Loimu again looking. Jay Toro, Playmaker now looking. Tests him short side. It doesn't go. Trouble with Rubatas. Trying to hold on to it, but he can't. Potzloff in front. Can't hold it on. Unbelievable turn of events here. 10 seconds to go on the power play. Contact at the line, but Jay Toro has it. Brings it down low. Now back to the point. Playmaker. Couple of options. Throws it in front to flex on goal, but Rundqvist was there to make another stop.
And Linköping just peppering Rundqvist with shots there on the power play, but in typical Rundqvist fashion, cool, calm, collected in the crease, making every single save that he needs to make at a big time for his team.
Big win for Potzloff. Playmaker, bit of space. Good bit of contact there, though, by Bastian to break it up. Misa tries to send this one down. It'll be on target. Kappa quickly plays it out. 10 seconds to go. One more rush here for Linköping. They turn it over. Rubitas trying to hold on to it. Double team pressure. Loose puck. Playmaker shot on. And that will bring us to the end of the second period. One of the more stunning turn of events. Every time, Sin, we say that, it seems like the bar is then raised. Färjestad seem down and out in game one. They have a 2-goal lead here at the end of the second period in game two.
Just an impressive response and recovery from Färjestad. When you get beat 5-0 and you know you have to face that team again, it can be so easy to get into your own heads. But when it comes to Färjestad, it just doesn't seem like that's even on their radar. They are such a strong mental team, and that's what it takes to go up against Linköping, who just seem to be, mental giants there. And Färjestad, they're finding a way. We've said it all throughout these playoffs. Somehow, they always find a way, and you got to give it up to Rundqvist back there. Has faced 15 shots, only allowed 2 goals. And once again, Linköping nearly doubling the time on attack of Färjestad. But as we saw so much throughout that first round, Färjestad still with a lead, still finding ways to score, and now they're finding a way to get an even higher volume of shots. But shout out to Patslov in this one, getting, the more face-off wins, and that's, another thing. The percentage doesn't always matter when it comes to in-game, the adjustments made on the fly, those big important face-off wins, seeming to go in favor of Linköping, but right now they need to make it count on the scoreboard. They're down by 2. This is the third period. Färjestad could even this series up right here, which would make it a very, very interesting conclusion to this one.
Absolutely. Playmaker for Jay Toro denied as Rundqvist is able to make the stop on that one. So again, a quick note here. The player indicators seem to be glitched out. So again, Misa, the center for Färjestad. Of course, you have Afe with the green indicator as opposed to Bastion, who would normally have it on that right-hand side. So we're trying to work with that. Penalty coming up here. It's going to be Misa going to the box again, Sin, this time for a boarding call.
Yeah, this is getting dangerous. Färjestad playing with fire right now. You can't keep sending this team back onto the power play, especially having your center in the box with how many set plays Linköping have off the draw. We'll see if they're able to pull another one off.
Another huge chance here. Bastion, not the best win percentage for right wingers who have to cover for their centers. A niche stat. Playmaker nearly picks the corner. This one deflects off the stick of Eki and out of play. Fortunately for Totalia, it could have ended up being a trip.
Yeah, I think there is some weird things that can happen if you hit it off the net and it goes out of play. It can be delay of game, but luckily he hits the opposing player and it won't be counted as that. That would have been dangerous going 5-on-3 against this team.
Good win for Bastion. Better clear by Rubitas. Afe is going to look to chase this one down, but he gives up on the chase there as Jay Toro was able to win it. Opportunity again here now. See if Linköping, are able to work it around, find their way in. A little bit of trouble for Playmaker. Afe not able to clear. Playmaker tries to get it back in, but is ultimately offside. So good chances here, though, for Linköping to try and find some space. But Färjestad, so far, so good. You see the drastic difference in physicality, which I suppose you would expect to see based off of puck possession numbers. Chance here down low for Loimu. Now again, it's Eki. A little bit of trouble. He has it again. Eki, the room, loses it on the double team. Still fighting for it. Now on the half wall, it's Playmaker. We're back to 5-on-5. It's Eki. Tried to fend it back to the point, but Misa was there, fresh out of the box. Chance now for Rubitas, looking to step in. A bit of trouble on the half wall, though. Great job by Loimu to fend him off. 4 minutes gone here now in the third period. A stunning scoreline through this one, but a long way to go. Trouble here. Playmaker tried to find Patslov in front. Defended well by Färjestad. Bastion looking for a bit of space to work with. Ends up finding its way to Rubitas. They have it in the zone. Rubitas still in possession. Bastion, a little bit of space. Tried to throw it off the back. Kape, a little bit of trouble covering that one. But it finds its way behind the back of the net where it's recovered by a teammate. Chance here now for Playmaker. The move at the line doesn't pay off. Misa was there yet again. 7 minutes gone now here in this third period. If you are a Färjestad fan, opportunity, scores! What a shot! What a snipe! The hat trick for Afe! Färjestad up 5-2 here in the third period over the defending champion Sin. I cannot believe what we are seeing.
Once again, a little bit of time and space, the tiniest of breakdowns from Linköping, but you gotta give it up. What a saucer pass to an area that Afe can get to, and a 2-on-1 right there. The defenseman has to kind of cover the pass, and that gives Afe all day to look to pick the corner right there. And if you're Kape, you gotta be feeling a bit bad. You're in good position, but you know, you just got sniped. As simple as that. And now a 3-goal lead for Färjestad. There's still a lot of time left. We have seen Linköping come back, but they haven't had to do that at all through the playoffs, and not so much this season. They're in a position they're not maybe used to right now in this season. So Linköping on the ropes a bit, pressing a bit. Will they be able to find something here, or can Färjestad walk away with this victory and even the series up?
Playmaker into the zone now, looking for a bit of space to cut in. Takes a huge hit from Misa. He's been bringing the physical game. It's gotten him in trouble on occasion, but it worked out there. Chance here now. Rubitus tries to make something happen, but he cannot do so. Potzloff able to recover it, but Linköping now, as Sid mentioned, running out of time. Halfway through the third period, Playmaker, a bit of space. Now it's Eki. Dishes it back to the point, and again back down low. Huge hit there from Bastion. Great physical play from Färjestad. Trouble here, though. Playmaker recovers off the skate of Eki, though. Loose puck. Eki able to recover along the wall. Chance Potzloff. Playmaker scores! You can't turn the puck over that many times in your own defensive zone against the Linköping. Playmaker finds a way to score, as he so often does. Linköping not done yet.
Yeah, and Linköping, as they get more and more aggressive, especially on the forecheck, they become more dangerous. They are never out of a game, you know, never out of a series either, as we learned from last year, and here they come. They're starting to storm back. We're going to see a timeout taken perhaps from Färjestad here, just trying to slow things down, maybe take a bit of the wings, the bit of the wind out of the sails of Linköping. But, I mean, there's still time left to get those two, at least to even the game up. 8 minutes left. And if you're Färjestad, I mean, you got to be thinking too much time on the clock. But you can't think that way. You got to keep them out of your zone as much as possible. Keep trying to play your game here, or else Linköping, if they get free reign to kind of roam around, they're going to get chance after chance after chance. And Rundqvist, I believe, is only human. So you got to be careful if you're Färjestad.
Don't put the blame on him, Sin. As the face-off's now 17-9 in favor of Linköping, something we talked about as well was Potzloff struggling in the dot compared to how he did in the regular season. Through the postseason thus far, he's found his game, but it hasn't helped. Space for Afe yet again. Has it down low in the office, looking for a bit of space. Board play there, but he's killing valuable time here. Tremendous effort. What an individual effort to kill off some time. Bastion, a little bit of trouble there again, but Potzloff comes up with it. 5.5 minutes to go here in the third period of Game 2. Again, if you haven't dropped us a follow here on Twitch, make sure to do so. Games 3 and 4 coming at you on Wednesday. Of course, this broadcast not done, though. It's just Game 2 of 4 here in this broadcast. Chance here picked up again by Afe. The spin, dangerous. Misa trying to fight for it to get it out of the zone, and he does. Under 4 minutes to play. Chance now for Potzloff, looking for space. Picked up. Dangerous moment there for Rubitus, but he came up with it. Afe trying to find a little bit of space, but he can't do so. Great job there by Loimu to shut him down. Not able to find Playmaker on the pass. Another quick turnover. Eki along the wall, now down in the corner. Looking for space. Rapid. Maybe the rocket pass in front. Regardless, a great result for Färjestad. 1.5 to play. They're still up by 2. Let's see what the defending champions can do here, though. If there's time on the clock, they're not out of it. Turnover, but recovered. Loimu, Playmaker, tried to find Eki. He couldn't get it. Loose puck recovered by Afe. He has space to work with. Rubitus is coming with him. Afe cuts back. Looking here. Wise move. Kills a little bit more time as Misa will take it out of the zone. Under 45 to go. As Färjestad dump it in. Can Linköping find a way back into this one? 35 seconds to go. It's Playmaker along the wall. Looks to throw it in front. Can't find its way through. Rubitus is able to clear. Bastion and Afe are there. Afe might be able to win the race to it, and he just about does, but it's recovered by Linköping. 21 to play. Loimu over the line. Finds Playmaker. Looking. Takes the hit from Misa. Recovered by Rubitus, but Loimu's there to win it back. Playmaker. Wide open net. He couldn't pull the trigger. Here's Misa on the breakaway. Eki's back to defend. He wins it. Break. Scores! Bastion comes up with it. The final nail in the coffin here in Game 2 at the very least. Färjestad are going to battle back after a tremendously disappointing Game 1 to take Game 2 in convincing fashion. Unbelievable, Sin.
This team is magic. I don't know what it is and why they're able to get these chances and score on these chances, but it doesn't make sense to you logically. I mean, everything points to Linköping, should have actually probably won this game as well with all the stat lines and everything, but Färjestad, the little bit of time, a little bit of space, the chances they get, they're able to bury, and this series is tied 1 game apiece against the defending Stanley Cup champs. They have the split. A team that just swept Roots in the first round in quite convincing fashion. A team that just beat you 5-0. You storm back and take game 2 in relatively convincing fashion on the scoreboard too. I'm not speechless as I'm just giving a bit of a speech there, but I'm beyond impressed by Färjestad. I mean, what is it? They have completely turned it on here in the playoffs, and they are looking deadly.
Again, hat tricks for Afe and for Bastion in the dying moment of that game to cap that one off. I can't believe it. A lot to talk about here. I will suggest, by the way, and Sin, this is not to pick you apart, of course, but whenever you mention the cup, you always mention Lord Stanley. I just want to throw this out here.
When? Did I do that right now?
You did. But I'm just saying, it's all the more reason why I suggest that we name the championship the Kenu Cup, and then that way it's just completely avoided, and we have an official name.
Yeah, let there be a cup, because that's just apparently an over and over again a Freudian slip that I don't notice. At least you notice, but now you're putting it out in the chat. Maybe they didn't notice, and now you're putting me on the spot. I hate you.
Not pointing it out to again take shots at you in any way. I make the same mistake. That said, an unbelievable first 2 games of the series. If you missed it, it was a convincing, Sin, correct me if I'm wrong, 5-0 victory for Linköping in game 1. Färjestad, 5 good minutes. That was the first 5 minutes of the game in game 1. Domination from the defending champions from there. But after that, game 2, one of the craziest turn of events I have ever seen. And we have seen some magical moments throughout our time here in our affiliation with NHL Gamer and, of course, covering the ECL. But that was just spectacular. I mean, again, from the Linköping perspective here, obviously, we know what they have to do and the adjustments that they have to make, and they're certainly a team capable of making adjustments. But you want to talk about another team that's capable of making adjustments, it's Färjestad. And in that game, defensively, they were better. Again, Afe was able to find space. Bastion and Misa really stepping up that physical game as well, opened some of those opportunities and we've heard Färjestad, members of the team say it before, and if I'm not mistaken, it was Misa's interview at one point, where he talked about, hey, we just have to play our game. We can't play another team's game and try to beat them at their own game. Just play our game. And I feel like that's what they did in game 2, especially stepping up their physical efforts that really led to a lot of those opportunities. And again, if Afe gets space, my God, this guy's something special.
Yeah, and they're so fluid as well. I mean, they can just... They can make these little changes here and there to keep finding themselves space. I mean, they got dominated game 1. And they somehow found a way to come back here. I mean, it's just a work of beauty. And if you're Linköping, you got to kind of be not really worried, but you're kind of like apprehensive now. It's like, okay, well, we're now tied. It's the first game we've lost in the playoffs. What do we have to do now to put these guys away? Because they're going to keep nipping at their heels, I think.
Absolutely. So as if games 3 and 4 on Wednesday weren't going to be interesting enough, this series now is tied at 1 game apiece. With that, we will be back after a short break. Again, that was just the first semifinal. We're covering games 1 and 2 of the other semifinal. After the break, it's HAVU Gaming against hREDS, the battle of 3 and 4. HAVU looking to make it back to the championship round, and hREDS looking to prove that their claim to make it a big 4 in the ECL Elite wasn't a fluke. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Again, and welcome back, everybody, to the continuation of this presentation of the ECL Elite Division Season 10 right here on NHL Gamer, brought to you, as always, by IS Esports and Prisma Gaming. My name, of course, is Tuki, joined, as always, by my broadcast partner, Sin. And Sin, that first series, the first two games really set the stage for what could be one heck of a broadcast, all things considered. We shift our attention to the battle again of the 3 seed against the 4 seed. It's HAVU Gaming against hREDS. But Sin, a big story here. You talk about the difference between the 3 and the 4 seed. 26 wins in 30 games for HAVU, just 19 for hREDS. We talked about hREDS and their ability to try and make it a big 4. They couldn't really, make up that ground, but ultimately this is a huge chance to prove themselves.
Definitely. I mean, they're taking on, the team that was ahead of them in the standings, the runner-up from last year's championship series, and hREDS, now's the time. They talked about it in previous interviews. We feel like we didn't have the regular season we were capable of. We got off to a rough start. Well, now's your chance to prove that you belong here amongst the top dogs.
Absolutely. Now, an interesting thing to note here amongst this matchup, and of course we'll get down to the individual matchups in just a moment, but we just want to show you a little bit of a highlight reel for what you might be able to expect from certain wingers in this series. It's the battle of the left wingers in Płonka and Joki, and Sin, it's a little bit of a who did it better question. Let's take a look.
As the period wears down, we are now in the last minute. Real time here for those of you guys new to NHL. So if a penalty is taken here, it is an extended one. You don't want to do it. You got to watch the 6. Joki! Oh! What a play by Joki in the dying moments of the third period. The spinorama. We know how dangerous he is with speed on the left side. But did you know he's a precision skater as well?
Timer recovers. Psycho skills. Dishes it in front. Turned over though. Färjestad gets the pass to Płonka. He has Dominoiti with him. The spin. Płonka scores! What a goal! Highlight reel effort from Płonka. HAVU up by 2, and perhaps moments away from punching their ticket to the second round with a sweep of the Brace Phantoms.
And that is just gonna hurt. I think Profane Kiss is gonna have nightmares over that one-time chance that Hanselinho got over and got a glove on, and Płonka, such a great goal scorer, has been fantastic throughout these playoffs. Gets one more for the road there to potentially put the dagger in the back of Brace Phantoms there. Excellent.
Now, Sin, no strangers to highlight reel plays here throughout the Elite Division, but, phenomenal stuff as always, and really shows off the caliber of players that we're going to have in this upcoming series. What do you think? Who had the better goal?
Man, that's a tough one to call because they're a little bit, sort of different. Joki, the spin into the goal, Płonka more like the spin to get him into position for the goal. And either way, it's tough to pull off moves like that against some of these top defensemen and goaltenders, but both of them did that. So I don't know, man. It's hard for me to decide, and I'm just not going to decide, and you can't make me.
Absolutely. I can accept that. You can abstain from voting. That is allowed. It is your right as an American. That said, we are moving on to the individual matchups here. First and foremost, let's get you a look at the team lineups here. Again, for HAVU Gaming and hREDS. For hREDS is Joki, Benito, and the young prodigy, Nicky Dangles. All of 16 years old, if I'm not mistaken. An unbelievable talent on the sticks. On defense, it is Janzu and Teemu. And, of course, Nikke in goal there between the pipes. And, of course, for HAVU Gaming, their top lineup, the team that we expected to see this year and the team that's lived up to the hype. It's Płonka, Dominoiti, and the captain, Flyer Kungen, Nasu Stelia, and Villikun on defense. And, of course, Hanselinho, the face of Season 9, between the pipes there for HAVU. Sin, very interesting lineups, of course. A lot of talent across the board.
Yeah, a lot of talent, a lot of aggression on the forward end. They're exceptionally strong. HAVU's forecheck with Flyer Kungen there and Dominoiti at times. Flyer Kungen with some of the most dominant defensive skill sticks on the attack that you will ever see. It's going to be a very fun matchup to watch, especially as these two teams like the forecheck.
Absolutely. So with that, let's get into the individual breakdowns. We're going to start things off with the battle of the centers as we have the captain of hREDS. It is Benito going up against Dominoiti and Sin. You see the numbers here thus far. elite level talent in terms of point production. Again, HAVU, great job by them in the first round, of course, but hREDS, they had a scare, and it's something that we haven't exactly talked about yet, but you want to talk about an unbelievable series. They're coming off of a victory, 7 games over Unlucky Boys in the first round. Again, HAVU, the easy sweep over Brace Phantoms. Only 1 game was within 1 goal. But hREDS, and what it went down to, 5 of their 7 games went to overtime in that first round series, including the last 4. Game 6 went to triple overtime. My voice is still reeling. But the thing to note here, and it does really start with the center matchup, hREDS won the season series over HAVU. HAVU was 20-1 before that series as well, but hREDS, a tremendous job in success, against HAVU, and whether or not they're going to be able to do that here really does start with this matchup here as well. I mean, especially too when you talk about all 5, in terms of these forwards, they're all dangerous, and out of the 6 forwards here, 5 of them were within the top 10 spots in terms of point totals. I mean, again, dangerous offensive talent across the board.
Yeah, and it's, as you mentioned, hREDS getting that, advantage in the season series is a very interesting talking point when it comes to a series, in the playoffs between these two teams. But, a lot more games here, a lot more time to figure it out. And, HAVU, a lot more experience playing in these higher pressure situations. A couple championships under their belt and an appearance last season.
Absolutely. And again, the face-off battle going to be interesting as always. Dominante, the advantage in the regular season and in the postseason thus far. That said, there was an interview conducted earlier today. I believe there were some technical difficulties there with it, but regardless, we have our broadcast partner, the third man in the booth for this broadcast, F5 Penguin, was able to get a word with Benito earlier today. So Nick, take it away. What did he have to say?
Thanks, guys. I was able to talk to Benito from hREDS just a little bit ago, and he had some interesting things to say about the matchup ahead of him and his team. We talked a little bit about the series with the Unlucky Boys, that 7-game series, kind of back and forth, a lot of ups and downs. And he did say that there were some mistakes that nearly cost them the series that they just can't afford to make against HAVU. We did talk a little bit about the HAVU matchup, specifically about what are the keys to success, the things we always talk about in the pre-broadcast and the pre-show to these games. And he did mention that, they can't make it easy for HAVU to score. He knows that they score really well, and he did say that against the Unlucky Boys, that's the mistake that they did make that almost cost them the series. They don't want to do the same thing here, and specifically, they have to be creative on offense. We did mention that Nicky Dangles is a superstar of the game right now, a really talented player, and I asked him, what was it like to play alongside someone like that? He noted that when they signed Nicky Dangles, they knew what his talent and what his capability was, and he has not disappointed so far. And alluding to that creative talent that we did mention earlier, he has to be creative offensively. He is creative offensively, but more importantly, solid on the defensive side of the puck as well. And he said that he thinks that they're going to do quite well against HAVU here tonight. So hopefully that'll lead to high success for his team, but we'll have to see what happens on the ice. Back to you guys.
And with that, we take a look, of course, at the winger matchup here. I mean, again, you want to talk about numbers and impressive offenses. We look at Yoki, we look at Nicky Dangles, and what they were able to do in that best-of-7 series. And it is surprising when you see numbers like that the series ultimately went to 7 games. And on the flip side, of course, Pawanso and the captain, Flyer Kungen, leading the way. And again, Sin, just tremendous numbers across the board.
Yeah, and I mean, you look at Puanso and Flyer Kungen's numbers. Their series could have easily gone to 7 games with the numbers that they put up, but that's only in 4 games. So you can just see how dangerous the wingers of HAVU are. But the same, in the same breath, hREDS, Yoki and Nicky Dangles, absolutely dangerous. I mean, there's no other way to put it. They're deadly. They're dangerous. Nicky Dangle is an absolute force and only 16 years old. I mean, if he keeps getting better, yikes is all I gotta say. I mean, they're gonna be a force to be reckoned with for many seasons to come.
The future that this young kid might have, only time will tell. Pawanso, by the way, leading this postseason, entering play today in goals with 9. That said, F5 Penguin was also able to get an interview with Flyer Kungen a little bit earlier today. Nick, take it away. Can't wait to see what the captain has to say.
Thanks, guys. I'm here right now with Flyer Kungen from HAVU Gaming. Let's get right into it, if we will. Flyer, the last time that you guys met hREDS, back at the time it was Delusion, obviously. It was a playoff series. It was the finals, IS Cup 4. It went to 7 games. I want to ask you, what has happened since then, and what do you see that might be similar to what you saw last time heading into the series, this time against the team?
Yeah, well, it's kind of interesting because they have switched like 3 players from the IS Cup finals. They have different goalie and different righty and right winger as well. But I think they are still kind of same team as what they were a few months ago when we played them in IS Cup. Like they are still very skilled team, and they like to play very fast offensive game and try to use those counterattacks. But like the goalie is a little question mark for me. In IS Cup, their goalie was Kappe, the goalie of the Linköping, and he is very good goalie and experienced goalie, and hard to score against him in the playoffs. But now they have Uhnicke in the net, and he's not so experienced. So I think that's where we are going to strike in this series, because we know that their goalie doesn't have so much experience, and the right defender as well is the same, Teemu. He doesn't have so much experience in the semifinals or those big games. So I think those are their weak spots. We are trying to strike to those in this series.
Sure. So we identified obviously the weak spots that you guys are going to be going after. What, in your opinion, actually makes them a strong team, and where do you find that you'll have some difficulty facing them in the series?
Well, it's their centerman, Benito. He has been one of the top centers in Europe, like for few years already. He's pretty good under the pressure, and he can do some magic with the puck. You can't let him to have too much space on the ice, and I think he is their best player. And if we can take puck out of the penalty and take him out of his comfortable zone, I think we should be pretty good situation in the series. But it's going to be tough, but a fun series to play.
Let's turn our attention to the back, building from the back. Hansu, obviously a lot of success for him, and a lot of credit to him for getting your team to where they are. First round against Brace, 2 shutouts, save percentage of 90%, which is unheard of a lot in playoff hockey over in the ECL. How much of an effect does it have on the team when you go into a series knowing that you have somebody like Hansu that you can trust to bail you out of some situations?
Yeah, of course. Like Hansu has been the goal during the last 2 years for us. I think he is one of the best goalies in the whole world, especially in the playoffs. And those are the games where you have to be on the top if you want to win. And I think his level of game is always in the top in the playoffs, and you need that kind of goalie in the playoffs if you wanna succeed and try to win the trophy. Because if your goalie is nervous and you can sense that, then it affects all the players on the ice as well. Like you can't really be yourself and play like normally, and it's not like natural playing when you don't have goalie who is supporting you. So it's very big thing, at least for me, that I can trust my goalie, and I know Hansu is best in the business when we are heading to the semifinals, and our whole team can trust him, and it's big for us.
Definitely, and as you heard it here, trust being a main factor in the success for this team. Flyer Kungen, thank you so much for your time. I do appreciate it.
Thank you.
Let's throw it back into the studio.
So, Sin, interesting to hear what the captain had to say in terms of, again, kind of what they're looking at with this series. And when we look at this series, of course, the defense certainly comes to mind and how things are going to play out. Of course, the offensive input that we might see. Of course, the numbers a little bit better in favor of Janzo and Teemu for hREDS, but of course that I would say mainly down to that series going a little bit further. But all four of these guys, of course, Nasu and Villikun on the other side as well for HAVU, all four of these guys able to put up points when called upon.
Yeah, you cannot underestimate what Nasu and Villikun can bring to the table, especially offensively. And, maybe one of the better, pairs chemistry-wise and defense-wise of the ECL when they play together. It's very hard to, kind of get to the middle and get to the locations to score that you want to with both Nasu and Villikun back there. But yeah, Janzo, Teemu have, have had some really good looks, in the postseason as well. But yeah, a couple times sort of getting exposed by Unlucky Boys. They're going to have to, really step up their game here against such a terrorizing offensive team in HAVU Gaming.
Absolutely. And again, we talk about all the individual matchups, the battle of the wingers, which is, going to be extremely interesting to watch. The center battle, the defensive battle, but perhaps most intriguing is the goaltending battle. For HAVU Gaming, it is Hanselinho. For hREDS, it is Nikke. And I'm very intrigued, of course, to see how this matchup really pans out for these two teams. And again, you want to talk about the numbers and what these guys are capable of. And again, we'll get you a look at it here in just a moment. But two of the best in there you go. Two of the best that this league has to offer. But Hanselinho right now, with unbelievable numbers for the first 4 games of HAVU's postseason campaign.
Yeah, pretty ridiculous. I mean, only averaging 1 goal against per game, 90 save percentage, couple shutouts. I mean, and that speaks to, how good he is, but not only that, but how good HAVU plays as a team. But when it comes to Nikke, the numbers aren't as strong, but he was making some tremendous saves there, especially at the tail end of game 3. He faced a flurry in the last 30 seconds, about 5 or 6 in tight opportunities. He was able to keep it out. So if he faces a flurry here and he's on his game, HAVU may find it a bit frustrating trying to get pucks behind him.
And again, if Nikke doesn't have as strong of a series as he did, it may very well be Unlucky Boys in this spot. We move on, of course, puck drop just a few moments away. Again, games 1 and 2 of this series between the battle of 3 and 4, HAVU Gaming and hREDS coming at you. We will be back on Wednesday, remember that, for games 3 and 4. And Thursday, if necessary, we'll round off the rest of the series for either this series or, of course, Linköping and Färjestad, which is guaranteed to see at least 1 game on Thursday. That said, we move on to the keys to success, and we're going to kick things off here with HAVU. And, of course, we've talked about it already. The dangerous front 3, as always, the crushing forecheck, the ruthless efficiency that's always on display, but was particularly on display in that first-round matchup. And really, once this trio gets going, it's extremely tough to stop them. As long as they continue to perform, I mean, they should find themselves back in the finals with a chance at redemption. And then, of course, we've talked about the defensive contributions. Nasu and Villikun able to really put up the points when called upon. They tied for the most goals in the league amongst a pairing, if I'm not mistaken. But they were held goalless in that round 1 sweep. They might be able to get away with that in the early rounds, but now it's time for all 5 skaters to be involved. And then, last but not least, simply put, he's back. It's playoff Hansu, and he returned in dominating fashion. Again, a 900 save percentage with 2 shutouts in the postseason thus far, which is not what hREDS would have hoped for. Sin, what are the keys for hREDS in this series?
Well, the first one we got here is some discipline concerns. I mean, hRED, they took 13 penalties in their first round matchup. That's almost 2 per game. And when you're facing HAVU, who has a 34.29 power play throughout the regular season, the second best, you simply can't do that. It seemed like at times hREDS was their own worst enemy. They're getting tons of pressure against Unlucky Boys, then they take a penalty. More pressure, take another penalty. It seems like at times they were almost shooting themselves in the foot. So, they're going to have to really try to clean that up against HAVU here. The second key here is they have some optimism. That said, hRED's the worst penalty kill in the regular season. That really ties into the first key right here. They have to stay out of the box because you have a top power play going up against a weak penalty kill. Though, they killed off 10 out of 13 chances in the first round, which was over 10%, 13% better than the regular season performance. So, that is an improvement. But again, they're going to really have their hands full against HAVU Gaming, who have, as we said, just a deadly, deadly power play. And then the last one, no more controversy. We pondered whether or not, about the goaltending controversy between, I think, Finn Kona and Nikke, but it has been Nikke stepping up through the playoffs and being absolutely huge for his guys so far. He's been the goalie they're hoping for, but he's going to need to continue that to go up against HAVU here.
Absolutely. Again, puck drop now, just a moment or two away. The semi-final matchup between HAVU Gaming and hREDS. Sin, HAVU the favorites here, and rightfully so. But can hREDS really kind of convert that momentum from surviving a scare against the Lucky Boys and turn it into further success?
It's going to be tough to do so. They've looked really good at times, but again, they seem to be their own worst enemy. The mistakes they make taking penalties or mistakes in their own end have proven to be costly against Unlucky Boys. It's going to be magnified, geez, words are hard, against HAVU Gaming here, because they can make you pay even with the slightest of hiccups. So we'll see what happens here in game one.
When you said magnetized, I am magnetized to my seat. I'm going nowhere. Can't wait to see how this one plays out. HAVU in possession here off of that turnover. Really cool. A couple of chances here to really work it around wherever he chooses to. Sends it to Dominointi. Now again back to the point. Again, HAVU love that quick possession. You'll see it from them. And Linköping, rapid attempt from Färjestad just doesn't go. HAVU, though, perhaps even more than Linköping, love to test the near posts on opportunities as Dominointi intercepts that one. Färjestad into the zone yet again. Billy Kuhn, a little bit of space to work with. Shot on deflection bid in front for Polanco, just doesn't go. Kept alive and they score! Sin, that quickly it can happen. Dominointi finds Färjestad for the one-timer and he powers that one home. 1-0 HAVU.
Yep, and just like the defending champs, when they get it into the zone, it is very hard to get it back out of the zone. Just a great down-low cycle of HAVU Gaming. They love to get that down-low cycle, and a sweet play from behind the net to the corner to back into the slot where Färjestad is ready there with the one-timer, blasting it by Nikke. Not too much he could do on that play, just an unbelievable zone possession from HAVU Gaming, putting them up on top early here, 1-0.
A picture-perfect start for the home side in this one. Again, you talk about it, really how that last series played out where we saw Färjestad, get off to a good start but not be able to capitalize. HAVU not making the same mistake. They take advantage of this early possession work and they're back in the zone here. Quickly handled though for hREDS. And again, the opportunity here, stick lift from Yoki just doesn't go. HAVU back on the attack. Space for Dominointi, tried to just power his way through. Defended well by Anzo. He'll take his time here, trying to get a clean breakout. Easier said than done. Again, we just mentioned that relentless forechecking pressure that's on display by HAVU as they win it back at their own blue line. Good step up there by Yoki. hREDS battling for possession, but Dominointi of HAVU Gaming comes up in that space here for Polanco. Scores! You can't give HAVU that much space to work with, but Sin, the frustrating thing is, they create something out of nothing on a routine basis. It's 2-0.
Yep, and they can create it from any zone. That starts all the way back towards their own zone, forcing the turnover on the blue line. And we talk about it so much when we cover HAVU. They seem to just have layers of defense in all three zones. Their forecheck is strong. Their neutral zone game is strong. They can hold you at the blue line, and their defense in their own zone is strong. And that time, it leads to an attack the other way. Polanco finding it that little bit of time and space, makes no mistake, beating Nikke there on the partial breakaway. 2-0 HAVU, not even halfway through the first.
Two chances were really for Nikke and goal. There's not too much you could have done. High quality chances, both converted by HAVU. In front for Dominointi. It just doesn't go, but he recovers possession here. Throws it in front. Färjestad denied. By the glove of Nikke. Second chance there as the pass doesn't go. Loose puck on the near post. Covered? Not covered. Dominointi has it. Now again, they work it around. Big blocker save. That quick pass from Färjestad to Polanco. But Nikke was able to make the save. It's been all HAVU for the first 10 minutes. It's in their own zone here. Färjestad taking his time. Amazing patience on display. Great puck movement. Here's Billy Kuhn. Now the defenseman stepping up. Sauces it on goal. Stopped by Nikke and hREDS. Back in possession here. Still looking to find their offensive game. They're offside here. Sim, we talked about it when hREDS beat Unlucky Boys. What a reward you get to play HAVU. And so far, it's kind of lived up to that, where again, it's been all HAVU.
Yeah, I mean, the expectations definitely being lived up to. hREDS finding a struggle to even get it into the zone, whereas HAVU seem to be doing it with ease a few times and really getting their cycle game going. That being said, hREDS with a chance here, but they turned it over again.
Yoki, no pass option there. You had two players trying to, really crash the slot and find the space. They just couldn't do it. Palazzo offside, receiving the pass from Flyer Kungen. 7:36 to go here in the first period. Again, game 1 of the series. Game 2 will be covered in the aftermath, and then we hope to see you on Wednesday for the continuation of the semi-final round here, the ECL Elite Division. In my humble opinion, featuring the best of the best, not just particularly in Europe, but there's some North American teams that have some things to say about that. Perhaps the defending NACL champions in Vertigo. Will there eventually be a best of the best tournament? One can dream.
Yes.
One can dream. HAVU in possession yet again, but turned over. hREDS 5 minutes left to work with here in the first period. Big turnover there by Benito. Right back on the attack. Dominointi, now Flyer Kungen in the corner. Back up again to his center. Now it's Villikun, the shot blocked down in front. Great job there by Nicky Dangles, but again, HAVU still in possession. Flyer Kungen in front. Villikun just couldn't get it. Palazzo still fighting for it. 3.5 to go now, and hREDS still struggling to find an offensive foothold. It's been all HAVU for this first period, and they're still in possession now. Nasu again, the D-to-D pass. Here's Villikun looking to work his way through yet again, but he runs into trouble. Big stretch pass. It's going to be on goal, so no icing. Quickly played out by Hanselino. Under 2 minutes to play now. Here in the first period, great passing there. Flyer Kungen tried the windmill into the middle. Does not go. Palazzo recovers, but turns it over to Yoki. No space for him there, but he's able to recover possession yet again. Bit of space to work with. Recovered by Teemu on the pinch. Around the back, Rapid doesn't go. Loose puck still there, recovered. One more rush here for HAVU. Time winding down. Palazzo in front, it doesn't go. Quickly cleared out. And Sim, that'll bring us to the end of the first period. A tremendous, if not picture-perfect start for HAVU.
Yeah, they came out of the gates flying and really took it to hREDS, who were not only struggling to kind of get going, get their motors going, but just struggling to get the puck out of their zone sometimes. Just, an almost clinical opening period there from HAVU. 2-goal lead. The majority of the time on attack, and again, I don't know if hREDS got a registered shot. The rapid bid, was the closest thing. I'm not even sure if that counted as a registered shot. I mean, I'm sure we'll see here in the period break, but an excellent start from HAVU there as we got another look at that. A one-time goal, and we're going to see that other one right there on the kind of partial breakaway. Nice view from the goalie, Cam Nikke, doing as best as he can to kind of remain in position, but one-on-one there, yeah, that didn't count as a shot, and only 23 registered seconds of time on attack for hREDS. Not the ideal start that you want in a best-of-7 series against the runner-up from last year, but HAVU, we've mentioned it all the time this season. They are on a mission, and that mission continues here, and they are looking very scary.
Sin, hREDS tied for 3rd in the regular season for offense, the 4th best defense, but you're going up against HAVU, 2nd best offense, top defense, and it really does kind of show the levels. Again, hREDS hardly a pushover. They're in the semifinal for a reason, but right now, again, we saw it. Adjustments need to be made in the playoffs, and the team that can make adjustments are the teams that can really make a series out of it against, these top teams. And of course, we expected Linköping and HAVU to be the top 2 teams. Again, Nipa Voskala had something to say about that. hREDS as well at times, but we're going to see how hREDS are able to respond here, and if they are indeed able to adapt on the fly, or if it's going to take a little bit more of a kind of post-game effort heading into game 2 for them to really start to find their game themselves. Chance here for Yoki, but again, you see it instantly pressured. He still held on to it, though. Benito, back to Teemu now. Looking for an option, sends it down low into the corner, around the back of the net, tried the near post, just didn't go. Hit the side of the goal. Now again, Nicky Dangles along the half wall. Teemu, and again back down low to Nicky Dangles, looking for space. Don't know if he meant for that to go all the way to the point, but Janzu couldn't find it. But a little bit of offensive zone time there for hREDS, a bit promising, Sam.
Yeah, they're starting to get it, but they got to be careful here with the forecheck from HAVU. They got to get this puck out a bit quicker than that. There they go, a little scary moment, and luckily that'll be on net, so no icing there. But yeah, it looked pretty good. The problem is they didn't really able to find a chance right there. It's a good collapse from HAVU, and they cut out all those, high quality passing lanes that hREDS were looking for. They might have to just start throwing pucks on net here.
Space for Flyer Kungan. Now Pawonso tried to cut into the middle. It did not go. Chance for hREDS perhaps, but another turnover there. Luckily bouncing off the stick of Flyer Kungan, so they couldn't maintain that offensive zone possession. Good turnover here. Let's see if they can do anything with it. Yoki, the pass quickly broken up in the aftermath. Bit of space here now. Dominointi. Big spin into the corner. Has a bit of room back to the point. Space here. Nasu shot deflected just wide. Chance now in the corner. They work it back to the point. Nasu for Dominointi, and now back again. Shot on. Save by Nikke yet again. Chance at the near post for Pawonso. Does not go. hREDS surviving that offensive flurry from HAVU. Already halfway through the second period here. Incredibly fast-paced action here through every game that we've covered so far in this broadcast. Chance now again. Puck still in the zone. Opportunity for Nicky Dangles. They have it at the point. Deflection goes just wide. That shot from Ianzu. Teemu with a shot from the point. Doesn't find its intended target. But again, hREDS starting to kind of get some offensive opportunities here. Not able to make the most of it. However, they're going to the penalty kill, Sin. Didn't see what happened, but it's going to be a HAVU power play.
Yeah, it looked like a charge. I saw a hit go kind of behind the play right there, and a bit too many steps taken right there by, sorry, not Billy Good. Looks like we have the numbers wrong, but looks like
I wasn't sure who that was, to be honest. Chance here, though, for HAVU in the aftermath. Pass in front. Dominointi denied on the opportunity. And this one is sent out. So a chance here for HAVU yet again, but it is offside. So.
Yeah, so it looks like Nicky Dangle's actually in the box right there with a bit of a different number. We'll have to update that when we can for our own benefit. But yeah, big kill right now from hREDS. And look at HAVU, an aggressive face-off posturing here in the neutral zone.
See how it works out for them. Unfortunately, it doesn't, as Yoki is able to corral the puck there and send it all the way down. So not the ideal first minutes to this man advantage here for HAVU, but they're in on the attack here. Dominointi a bit of trouble. Nasu will look to step up, kept in the zone by Pawonso now. Along the half wall, he'll send it back to the point. Quick D-to-D work here. As Dominointi has a little bit of trouble, but he's able to maintain possession. Space again here. They're looking for one specific chance. Pawonso tests the near post. Loose puck kicked back out and ultimately cleared by the center Benito. So hREDS will survive. We talked about it, the most penalty minutes taken by a team that made the playoffs. Of course, those discipline concerns, we talked about it, though, still taking penalties, but the penalty kill has been significantly better in the postseason thus far, but certainly not a winning formula. They need to minimize those chances and create more of these chances. Puck back to the point. It's Teemu, now Ianzu. Again, good cycle work here from hREDS, trying to find a specific opportunity, but Sim perhaps not the best strategy. Turnover, scores! Nicky Dangles, make the play, young man. That's all you need to do. Just give Nicky Dangles a bit of space, and he can get hREDS back into the game.
Wow, what a play by him. The great job to force the turnover there with the defensive skill stick. Showing Flyer Kungan, hey, there's another winger in these parts who can make plays happen on the forecheck. He does just that. Gets the in-tight opportunity. Hanselino, good positioning, but Nicky Dangles was not to be denied right there. A great answer, and it's a one-goal game here late in the second.
A marvelous individual effort. Chance on the breakaway. Yoki denied. Hanselino makes the stop. Two amazing chances for hREDS, but they can't take advantage of the second.
Wow. I mean, good poke check there from Hanselino, but that was almost close to disastrous HAVU gaming, giving away their 2-goal lead in the span of just a few seconds. And hREDS finding a bit of life here late in the second period.
Still on the attack. Nicky Dangles down in the corner, finds some space at the point. Sends it back down low, in front, denied. Yoki nearly got that shot through. HAVU on the ropes here a little bit. Great response from hREDS. Nicky Dangles, a spectacular individual play. Yoki nearly able to tie this one up in the immediate aftermath. hREDS still on the attack. Nicky Dangles. Now it's Teemu again at the point. Down in the corner, working it around, looking for that space. Maybe a deflection bid, or at least trying to get it down low if they can. After Nicky Dangles tried to bank it off the back of Hanselino. 4 seconds to play. Sin, that'll do it. hREDS, though, have life. A significantly better second period.
Yeah, I mean, that's about as good as it gets. You don't allow another goal. You cut the lead in half, and you had another chance to almost bring it back, but it was a great save by Hanselino. We're actually getting a look at it right here. Oh, he actually didn't get the poke. It was his glove right there, keeping the puck out of the net. So a great job by him. An unfortunate break there for Yoki on the breakaway, and hREDS unable to tie it up. But you have to like their second period effort there especially. They looked very, very strong. And HAVU, as you mentioned, towards the end, a bit on the ropes there, still with the advantage, shots, time on attack. But if you remember, after the first, hREDS only had 23 seconds. They really put their foot on the gas pedal in that second period and got tons of chances.
I mean, really, that was fantastic. So we talked about it at the start of the second period. Do they have the ability to adapt on the fly? They absolutely do. And again, we're not really surprised to see that with a team like hREDS. I mean, yeah, just the three shots at this stage, maybe not what we would have expected, but the ability to take advantage of your opportunities, for the most part, gets hREDS back into this one.
And we'll see what they can do here in the third period. They still need to make up some ground. Still down by 1 in HAVU. Not a team to be taken lightly. They can definitely come away here and put this one away on the offensive side of things. So hREDS got to be strong in the neutral zone, holding the line as they did right there, and also careful of that HAVU forecheck when they look for their breakouts, because it looks like a lot of times they want a slow, methodical one, but that might not be possible with HAVU pressuring them.
Absolutely. Still a long way to go here in this one. Nicky Dangle's a little bit of trouble at the line. Chance here now again on the counter. They time it correctly. Pawanso has it. Down low for Flyer Kungen in the corner. Double team pressure. HAVU still fighting for it, but hREDS able to get the puck out of the zone. Yoki, good puck protection, gains the zone clean. Around the back now. Nicky Dangles had a chance, but he was set up on the backhand. Great puck movement here. Big blocker save by Hanselino. Thought that might have been a bit too much movement, and that they may have taken away the opportunity for themselves. Chance here, though, for Dominoit. He sends it across. Pawanso nearly came up with it. So chances on both ends here for each team. Opportunity again here for Benito. Back to the point. Shot rifled wide. Recovered, though, behind the net for hREDS. Chance here again. Benito still fighting for it. Loose puck recovered now. It's Dominoiti of HAVU Gaming. He'll send it back. Yoki looking dangerous on the forecheck here as this one is offside with 13:47 to go here in the third period. Still a 2-1 HAVU lead.
And hREDS really finding more ways to enter the zone now. They really struggled with that in the first period, but good adjustments made, and they're able to kind of break down HAVU's blue line defense a little bit better there as they almost feed it up the middle.
Dangles nearly finding his way through. Great turnover here. Yoki able to find Benito. Has to hold it on the backhand, though. Teemu back down low. Nicky Dangles in front, rifled from the point again, but blocked in front by his own man. They're looking for those one-time point shots, our hREDS, and they're nearly finding their way through. Again, a little bit of an adjustment offensively instead of just trying to rely on the low cycles. HAVU offside again. Don't want to say that they're on the ropes, but again, they're looking a little bit shaky compared to how they looked through the opening 20 minutes.
Yeah, they're just not able to get back into the zone and get the low cycle like we know they want to get. And even, the quick rush plays, they're not able to get that. hREDS in much better defensive position here. Look at that great neutral zone play. They get another turnover, entering the zone once again.
Benito fighting for it. Defended well, though, by Villikun, who's off and running, and he draws the penalty. The defenseman making a play happen. It's going to be a tripping call here against, I'm actually uncertain here, based off the number. I do believe that is Teemu rocking the number 3 instead of his usual 24.
Yeah, and that's, kind of the hREDS thing that's plagued them throughout the playoffs so far. They're looking good. They got the momentum. They're getting the time on attack, then they take a penalty. Can HAVU make them pay for it and increase that deficit to 2 goals?
Off the face-off, loose puck here, chopped and kept in. Opportunity for Flyer Kungen. They're just trying to rush the net here, but hREDS able to come up with it. Yoki is able to clear. So a decent chance goes to waste in the early stages here as their center is being held offside. I have never seen that.
That looks like a glitch. I've seen it happen. It's happened to me in Be a Pro, and I was getting hold. My guy actually got a penalty, so it was a very rage moment. But yeah, I think that is a bit of a glitch. We saw them kind of shoot it over right there to reset things. Yeah, that can happen. Games are not perfect, but good job from HAVU there to kind of reset everything.
Good heads-up play indeed. Villikun a bit of space. Sends it down low into the corner. Thrown in front. Opportunity. Flyer Kungen just couldn't get a piece of it. 30 seconds to go here on the man advantage as it's sent all the way back down into the HAVU zone. So one more chance here for a clean rush. Burst of speed for Pawanso. He drops it off. A couple of quick passes. Mistimed Again, HAVU struggling to gain the zone, even on the man advantage. We're back to 5-on-5 with 8 minutes to go. hREDS, of course, within 1, but a big turnover here. Polanco forced to drop it back due to the pressure. Dominointi, though, finding space. Polanco now charges the post, loose puck, still fought on for and recovered. HAVU, though, having a bit of trouble with Polanco. Now Dominointi into the mix. Turned over here. Flyer Kungen has it. Looks to send it in front. He's unable to do so yet again. Chance here for hREDS on the counterattack. Yoki, bit of space, sends it down low. Now back again. Yoki shot, deflection, loose puck still in front, shoveled behind the net. Recovered by Nicky Dangles. He tried to throw it in front. It wasn't there. Here's Dominointi. Burst of speed. Flyer Kungen has Polanco. Great job by HAVU to take that chance away, though. Get back to the point. Now again down low. Flyer Kungen. Loose puck doesn't find its way to Polanco. And a chance here on the rush for hREDS if they can time it correctly, which they do. HAVU over for Benito. Can't get it in front yet again. Chance again turned over, though, by HAVU. Space in front. They score! It's Yoki burying it on the backhand. And hREDS in. We postulated whether or not HAVU were on the ropes. hREDS have come back from 2-0 down to tie this game.
Yep, and that was a quick strike from them. I mean, even after their penalty was taken, they couldn't really get back into the zone. It seemed like HAVU was starting to take the momentum again, but a great job from them finding that little bit of space for the pass, and on the backhand, Yoki buries it, tying this game up, and that's a huge moment from hREDS there, because they almost fell into that old trap. They took a penalty, they killed their own momentum, but not to be here. They're able to tie it up, still a lot of time left. You know, time for either of these teams to get another marker here, but we could be seeing overtime. And from how strong HAVU looked early on, that would be, you know, pretty bad for them. They'd have to kind of be kicking themselves after having a 2-goal lead early on, looking like the dominant force, and now kind of coughing that up here late in the third period.
Again, the rare lay down there to try and break up the pass. You don't often see that unless it's pure desperation. And again, perhaps catching the defender off guard. We're going to see the double timeout here, Sin, to give these teams a little bit more time to adjust.
Yeah, and we're starting to see that the kind of dive there coming back into the meta a bit more, as one of the last patches, the puck pickoffs. You know, if you're charging those passes up a bit, it's a lot harder as a defenseman now to kind of pick that off, which limits you. So you have to get a bit more creative. Once again, kind of going back to NHL 18 when that was a much bigger thing, kind of diving in those passing lanes. So we're seeing a bit of a return to that in the meta. But yes, mostly it's done in those sort of more desperate situations because you can still get stick lifts. The defensive skill stick still gives you options. But yeah, it's a great job with the defensive play to cut off that the angle, but still a great job to thread that pass through to Yoki. And high game here, hREDS maybe looking for another one.
2 minutes to go here in regulation of game 1. Again, hREDS no strangers to overtime in this postseason thus far. Chance here now. Dominointi tried to stretch past to Villikun. He's not able to win it back. Final minute of play here. hREDS battling back from 2-0 down. It was a tremendous start for HAVU in this game, but they've struggled since. Yoki, great job there to at least force HAVU to retreat for the moment. Dominointi, Polanco, bit of space here, doesn't find the back of the net, may have hit the post. Still has it down low yet again, looking, spin move to try and get the near post. He couldn't get it. One-timer, does not go. Loose puck shoveled into the corner. Polanco. Now Nasu looking, one-timer deflection bid. Loose puck shot denied again. Polanco can't find the back of the net. HAVU throwing everything at the goal, but not being able to find the winner. Chance here again, though. They're on the attack. Under 20 seconds to go now. Nasu can't pick it up in stride. In a bit of trouble for Flyer Kungen. 10 seconds remain in regulation. Will there be a late winner? Stretch pass intercepted by Yoki. Loose puck over. Still a chance here. HAVU. Good bit of defense, and Sin, why not? It's overtime again for hREDS. Unbelievable stuff here again. 5 of their 7 games against the Lucky Boys went to OT, and they battled their way back to go to overtime yet again.
Yeah, and the first game of this series going to overtime as well, and you got to give a shout out there to Nikke at the end. Again, late in the game, he faces a mad flurry of shots there from HAVU. Seemed to get chance after chance, one-timers, deflections, the rebounds, the in-tight chances, and he stopped every single one of them. A great job by Nikke there, and if they are able to find the winner in overtime, a lot of credit has to go to him for that. for like about the last minute of the third there when he faced, chance after chance from HAVU when they were desperately trying to take the lead back. So this will be an interesting overtime. Can HAVU step on the gas early and put hREDS back on the ropes, or will hREDS get 3 unanswered goals to put this game 1 away in overtime? Only time will tell here, but it's been a great performance from both of these guys. I really like the beginning of the game for HAVU. I like the game as it went on for hREDS. So pretty evenly matched, all things considered, considering the difference of records in the regular season here. HAVU definitely got their work cut out for them here.
Again, it is shocking. I mean, Ponsolino, beaten twice on 7 shots. He was only beaten 4 times on 40 shots in the first round matchup. So HAVU perhaps caught off guard. hREDS a chance to get a statement victory here and guarantee play on Thursday, which then I can't help but think both of these series will be featured on Thursday, the decisive day, as we'll be finding out who goes on to the finals more than likely on that day. Although with this series, again, expect the unexpected. It's been the tagline of this postseason. Dominointi's not able to hold on to this one. hREDS in possession for the moment. Benito was able to find Nicky Dangles. Loose puck recovered. Polanco now, a little bit of space to work with. Finds Flyer Kungen. Great poke check there. Benito helping out the defense. Good hit. Not able to maintain zone possession, though. HAVU, they're trying to get back in, but again, mistimed. We've seen that quite a bit from them in this game so far.
Yeah, and it's a lot of credit to hREDS for making the necessary adjustments to sort of defend their own blue line better. It was way too easy in the beginning for HAVU to gain the zone, and they really hemmed them in, which led to that early 2-goal lead. But ever since then, hREDS have stepped it up, and HAVU, bit of a tougher time getting in low, and that's what they want to do. They want to get that puck in, they want to get that low cycle, and that's where they get dangerous. They're so methodical with their cycle, and they just seem to find those chances, whether it's the kind of tight angle shots from the post off the one-times or from behind the net, the wrap chances, the shots from the point, no matter what. HAVU, they love to start off the cycle.
Dominointi has it down low. Polanco, a chance. Puck still alive. Dominointi able to recover yet again. Has it down low. Chance here. Flyer Kungen looking for options. Finds Polanco, not able to tuck it on the back end. Dominointi, puck still alive. hREDS survive for now. Polanco, Flyer Kungen in front. Dominointi on the doorstep. It doesn't go. Huge save by Nicky here in overtime to keep this one going. Much better there from HAVU in terms of what they're going to look to do to get that established net front presence. But a turnover here. Yoki forced to drop it back. Janzu looking for space. Tries to find Benito. Trying to come up with it. Loose puck. Nicky Dangles nearly walked away with it. Again, down low. Benito back to Teemu at the point. Working it around. Trying to find a specific option here. D-to-D pass yet again. hREDS looking for something special in particular. Doesn't go. Loose puck ultimately recovered by HAVU. See if they can hold on to it through the breakout here. Flyer Kungen, smart pass to hit Billy Kuhn. The big stretch pass to Polanco doesn't go, though. We're halfway through this overtime. Again, hREDS, no strangers to overtime periods of play in this postseason. They're in the zone here. Nicky Dangles unable to hold on to it, though. HAVU back in possession. See if they can find their way over the line. They can't. Yoki comes up with it. He has a bit of space to work with. The big spin. Down low into the corner. But it was Villikun again. Able to fend off the pressure with that check. See now again. Can HAVU work their way through? Big stretch pass. Flyer Kungen has it. Self-sauce. Tries to send it into the middle. It doesn't go. Recovered by Polanco. Tried to throw it to Dominointi. The pass was off the mark again. Nasu has some options here. Keeps circling back. Sends it into the corner. Kungen forced to dish it back to the point. Good puck movement. Slap shot on. The rebound was there, but just out of reach of Dominointi. Again, now into the zone. Villikun looking for space, and he draws the call. Send HAVU to the power play. It's a tripping call. It's going to be Yoki taking a seat.
Yeah, and once again, hREDS getting himself in trouble by going to the box. It's going to be tough to kill this off. HAVU, they're going to have some set plays, and their cycle game, we already know, is exceptionally strong. Going to be, amplified here on the power play. If they can win this, it comes down to it. Can Benito get a huge win for his guys here so they can get off to the right start?
Tie up here. Loose puck. HAVU come up with it. Nasu looking. Now back again down low. Dominointi tried to throw it across. He's back in possession here yet again. Chance at the point. Quick passes here. They got it down low. Trying to catch Nicky leaning. Shot doesn't go for Nasu, and it's sent all the way down by Nicky Dangles. So, again, hREDS surviving the first minute of this kill. 1 more minute to go. Chance here over the blue line, recovered. Villikun looking, Dominoiti tried to throw it across. Has it down low in the corner, chance on the near post, doesn't go. Again, Powanso, shot for fire, Coogan, the rebound is there. It's Dominoiti who's able to bury it, and HAVU Gaming survive a scare here in Game 1. hREDS a spectacular job of bouncing back, but Sin, it is that lack of discipline that bites them in the end.
Yep, and you can kind of almost feel it coming. Eventually, you keep taking penalties, and HAVU will make you pay, and they make them pay at the, well, best time for them, but the worst time for hREDS. They're in overtime. They did such a good job of battling back in that game, but at the end, it just wasn't quite good enough, and HAVU showing why they're such a dangerous team. Their power play is good, their offensive pressure is good, and their defense is quite good, but, you know, credit to hREDS. They did finally find ways to start breaking that down as the game went on, but yeah, it's the discipline that keeps coming back up when we talk about hREDS. Their inability to kind of stay out of the box and in key situations as well. I mean, we think back to Game 7, almost a bit lucky how they're able to tie it up on the penalty kill. They got the game-tying goal, which went to overtime, then they got the win. So, you know, hREDS, the discipline has been a factor no matter what side of it that they're on. So, and against HAVU, they're going to make you pay for it. That's plain and simple. They're way too good of a team to keep taking penalties against. And as you said, in the end, it bites them.
Absolutely. I mean, with Yoki, you kind of live and die with that aggressiveness. That aggressiveness pays off. It's a big part of the reason as to why they beat Unlucky Boys in the first round, but it's also a big part of the reason as to why that series ultimately went to 7. He took 12 penalty minutes through 7 games in that first round matchup. He gets into penalty trouble here again, and it comes back to haunt them. But of course, you know, again, it is that style that he plays, very similar to what we see from HAVU, that aggressiveness. But if you're going to be that aggressive, you've got to find a way to stay out of the box. Otherwise, it can indeed cost your team. As you got to look at the lineups yet again. A reminder, if you are just somehow joining us, that was Game 1 of the semi-final matchup here in the ECL Elite postseason. As, you know, we're going to really get to see what's going to happen here through this next game. Game 2 coming up, of course, games 3 and 4 on Wednesday. The remainder of the series will be played on Thursday for as long as necessary. But ultimately here, I mean, for HAVU, not a perfect performance, but you walk away with the win, which is much easier, I would say, Sin, to try and, you know, break down into what we need to do better and what was working. Whereas for hREDS, you know, slow start, you battle back, but you let it get away from you.
Yeah, and it was a good battle back from hREDS, but I think HAVU, they got to not let their foot off the gas. I'm not saying they just completely started relaxing against hREDS, but after that 2-goal lead, they definitely just weren't as strong getting into the zone, holding the zone, or keeping the, you know, the play out of their own zone as well. I mean, some credit to hREDS, but you got to think, you know, is this a recurring theme with HAVU? You know, against Linköping, they coughed up the series lead. A couple of the games, they coughed up a lead in the games too. So HAVU, this is kind of going to be, you know, a good test for them. Can they, you know, hold some leads here and keep other teams from coming back here? And that'll be, they get another early start, you know, against hREDS in this next one. I'll be curious to see if they are able to keep the pressure on them and not let them kind of inch their way back in. Because, you know, if hREDS ties the series up 1 game apiece, I mean, it's going to be very interesting going into Wednesday, and then, of course, guaranteed Thursday.
Absolutely. I mean, again, as you get to look at the updated bracket, if you missed it earlier in this broadcast, Linköping and the 8 seed Färjestad splitting the first 2 games of their series. And, of course, we just witnessed HAVU taking Game 1 in overtime over hREDS. Game 2 coming at you in just a matter of moments. And it is going to be very interesting to see really how this one plays out in terms of adjustments that could be made. Again, I mentioned it for HAVU, a lot easier to kind of look at what you have to, you know, change up here heading into that second game. And for HAVU, it was such a spectacular start in that first period. It just kind of got away from them from there. You know, I think, again, you get the chemistry back at the blue line. You could argue HAVU should have had way more than 3 goals, but, you know, when they live and die off of those chances, especially around the net, you never really know when that's going to pay off. But ultimately, Sin, as you mentioned too, both goaltenders coming up with some big saves at the end of the day as well. Nick doing a great job of keeping hREDS in it through that first period. There's really no way of knowing what we're about to see here, and I think that's been kind of the theme of this postseason so far, and will probably continue to be the theme of the postseason. It's the theme really of every postseason. I mean, you think back to last year's postseason and how that played out. You know, we saw ridiculous comebacks, crazy lead changes, and I'm not really surprised that this postseason is just as unpredictable.
Yeah, I mean, that seems to be when it gets to the playoffs, you know, it's in anything can happen. Anyone can be a hero. Any team can, you know, start getting an edge here. And we're seeing Färjestad do just that. Not only beating Jyväskylä in 5, but now splitting the first 2 games against the defending champions. So we'll see if hREDS can kind of continue that trend, or will HAVU come back, win this game too, and remain undefeated so far throughout the playoffs.
So again, puck drop just a few moments away. Game 2 of this series, the 4th and final game of this broadcast. A friendly reminder, of course, if you haven't dropped us a follow here on Twitch, make sure to do so to continue to follow along with everything ECL related, not just in the elite division, of course, but as we continue on here through the playoffs in every division, of course, 4 tiers here in the ECL. We're going to continue to see how that plays out, how the postseason goes. Of course, promotion and relegation, very much a factor. The stage far from set in terms of what these 4 divisions are going to look like heading into ECL 11, which, you know, perhaps some more information on that at some point. Time will tell. We're not going to be overly specific. Just know it's going to be a thing. We're not going anywhere, baby. There's no way. There's no way. So, Sin, as we get ready for this, I mean, oftentimes I try to put you on the hot seat. What do you think's going to happen? What are you rooting for to happen? I mean, all things considered, I mean, are we rooting for another 7-game slugfest with 17 overtimes? Or are we kind of rooting for, like, hey, it'd be cool if this series kind of wrapped up in 5 or 6?
Well, I mean, we saw in overtime in game 1, HAVU came out victorious. I think hREDS, they have the potential to make this series drag out, and even the potential to win it. I mean, we saw it, you know, in the regular season against their matchup against HAVU. The question is, will they help themselves or hurt themselves? Again, penalty trouble handed them the loss right there when they seemed to have all the momentum. They got the last 2 goals. They overtime was forced and then take a penalty. So I think hREDS here is going to have to clean up their own game and try to stop from making these mistakes that have continued to cost them throughout these playoffs.
Absolutely. Now, I wanted to mention, too, as well, when it comes to the goaltending, I mean, you have 2 of the best, as we've said. And again, Nick, you know, strong effort there. You know, the first 2 goals, really not much you could do. Even that 3rd goal, the winning goal for HAVU, not much you could do on an in-tight rebound. Still very solid numbers for someone that had a lot of question marks surrounding him, as you mentioned, with Finn Kona being a really strong option for hREDS as well. But with Nikke right now, you know, again, you talk about it, a 75% save percentage in the regular season, still looking, you know, really good at this point with an 84% save percentage through these 8 games.
Yeah, and he comes up with the clutch saves as well. That's like the second time he's been on broadcast and had to face enormous chances at the end of a game, and he came up huge, and he's the reason it went to overtime. Now, we won't really talk about it much past that because his team did end up losing that one, so that performance kind of gets swept under the rug, so to speak, because HAVU has the 1-0 series lead, and, you know, the only thing that matters in the playoffs here is a win or a loss. We'll see which one of them is able to come up with the second game 2 win here. Can hREDS battle back, or will HAVU continue their kind of quest for revenge here in this season 10?
Time will tell. Here we go. Game 2, puck drop. It is underway. There we go. Again, HAVU in the white, hREDS in the black and red. And we'll see how this one plays out. HAVU, a 3-2 overtime victory in game 1. Still a long way to go in this series, though. We'll see how hREDS respond to giving up that OT winner. And now here, Dominointi able to feed Flyer Coogan. A bit of opportunity, a couple of options here. Feeds it back to the defense. Villikun sends it down low again. Dominointi trying to test the near post, but Nikke able to stand tall there. Good early stop for the hREDS netminder.
Yeah, they don't want to give up any more early goals, especially against HAVU. It's very hard to battle back against them. You did it once. You want to try to prevent yourselves from having to do that again. So a good job there by Nikke and the defense to kind of limit that second, third opportunity. And Nikke was able to get the cover. And now they're back on the offense.
Possession off the face-off win from Benito. Defense to offense. Great passing. Benito again tries to tuck it home. He can't do it. Good defense there by Dominointi to help things out. All 3 forwards were there to help protect the net as we see another offside call here against HAVU. Again, pretty surprising to see the consistency in which they've been, whistled down for offside here through this series thus far.
Yeah, and even more interesting, they keep trying to force the issue, not really going for many other looks here, keep trying to kind of force it through as if hREDS are going to give them those holes. I think HAVU may have to take their destiny into their own hands on these break-ins and try to look for some other options.
Good interception there by Pawanso. Dominoiti looking for space. Good self-sauce. Teemu there able to defend, at least for the moment. He comes up with possession now. Nicky Dangles able to feed it over to Janzu. Good quick passes here. Yoki can't find his way through. Dangles there to defend, and now Yoki comes up with it yet again. Nicky Dangles has it, loses it on the double team. So the neutral zone trap right now, the blue line control, certainly a pretty big factor through the opening 7.5 minutes here of the first period here in game 2. As neither team really able to establish that offensive foothold set.
Yeah, and it's kind of, bit of a way different start than the first game where we saw HAVU Gaming come out hot out of the gates. So it's good for hREDS. They're going to have to try to get some offense of their own. But again, another good blue line hold by HAVU. So yeah, the neutral zone battle, as we sometimes expect, early on in games. Didn't get that last time. This time, definitely. But a good job by hREDS there, forcing the turnover.
Shot deflected wide following that turnover. Yoki tries to hold on to it. Nicky Dangles tries to bank it off the back of Hanselinho again. Now again at the blue line here. Teemu back into the corner. Back to top yet again. hREDS getting that cycle going, looking for space. Shot deflects. Rebound was there. Poked out wide. Second chance. Third opportunity. They score. It's Nicky Dangles. He's able to get on the board yet again. Scores in game 1. It gets the opening goal here in game 2.
And that's huge for hREDS. You don't want to play from behind on HAVU if you can help it, and they really do a good job for themselves right there, getting the first marker in this one, taking the lead, but they got to keep their foot on the gas, and again, try to stay out of the box. It was a really good play. They're really kind of surrounding the net right there with a triangle of forwards. The rebound kicked out right to Nicky Dangles, who buries it right there, and good start for them. Let's see if they're able to keep it going here in HAVU. We'll see if they're going to get a bit more aggressive here and try some new things on those zone entries to try to establish their attack.
A very good start for hREDS indeed. Let's see if they can add to it, though. And had to battle back from 2-0 down in game 1 to force OT, where they fell just short of pulling off the comeback, but a good start here. Over the line, Nicky Dangles has it, dishes it back to the point. Teemu looks to step in and cross the crease there. Nobody home on the attempt. Yoki down low. Benito tried to feed it in front and still couldn't go. Opportunity. Dominoiti has a little bit of trouble. Pawanso able to hold on, but he's forced to dish it back. Chance here now for Nasu on the breakout. Under 5 minutes to play now here in the first period. Pawanso has it yet again. Looks to step in. Down low. Dominoiti around the back of the net. Pawanso looking. He wants to pull the trigger on the shot. Could have had a hat trick in the last game. Deflection bit in front there for Dominoiti. Just doesn't go. Flyer Coogan wins it back. Billy Coon looking for space. Can't find it. Good out, but Yoki can't pick it up in stride. He gets the icing call waved off, but HAVU quickly back in possession. Flyer Coogan trying to find space through. Chance now again for Nasu. Missed time, though. And the hREDS back in possession here yet again. Chance now. Flyer Coogan over the line. Bit of space. Deflection. Bit loose puck. Billy Coon nearly found a way to tuck that one home. Good passes here again. Billy Coon sends it across. Nobody there. Delayed call on hREDS. Dominoiti shot. Second chance for Flyer Coogan. He's bumped off the puck but regathers. Chance for Nasu, but he can't pull the trigger. It's going to be a power play for HAVU. And Sin, if I am not mistaken, that is Benito going to the box. The centerman for hREDS is out. Chance here off the draw. Good result there for hREDS. 20 seconds to go now. Puck over the line. Trying to hold is Pawanso. Flyer Coogan with them. Pawanso still has it. Nasu recovers. Pawanso again. 3 seconds. Shot. Loose puck. Rebound. They can't bury it in time. A hold your breath moments for hREDS in the dying moment of the period. But shockingly, they will take the 1-0 lead heading into the second period.
Yeah, and it was a good job by them for the most part throughout that period. But again, take another penalty, and HAVU is going to have carryover power play time as well. They didn't score right there. It was a good beginning to the kill from hREDS, and a bit of an advantage for them as well, as they're able to start in the neutral zone on the face-off. What they have to do here, I think, is really prevent HAVU from even gaining the zone, which is easier said than done, because HAVU has so many different ways, of trying to get into that offensive zone and then get their low cycle game going. But yeah, pretty impressive there. hREDS only one registered shot. It is a goal, but the time on attack was way more even than it was in the first period from last game. So hREDS seeming to kind of get better as the series has progressed and as each game has progressed. HAVU being consistent, but it's not quite enough to get them in the lead here. They have the 1-0 series lead, but they're down in this one. They're going to really have to try to make this power play count and get this game back to even here in the second. As we get another look there, looked like a block from the head of the defenseman right there.
Hey, anything you got to do to stop a shot from finding your netminder. A little bit of power play time remaining here for HAVU. Of course, going to look to really get back into this one. You mentioned, the save percentage for Hanselino right now taking a pretty big hit through the first, 4+ periods of play here. Of course, not sure how far into that overtime we actually made it. It seemed like we were destined for double OT in a way. 50 seconds remaining here on the man advantage. See what HAVU can do here. A couple of quick passes trying to generate speed. Miscommunications and very uncharacteristic for HAVU on this breakout. Dominointi has trouble. Chance here for Janzo trying to chase this one down. He is going to win it. Holds it in the corner. In the meantime, takes a huge hit, but a successful kill for hREDS. Maybe more about the miscommunication. Another example there. Very uncharacteristic for HAVU.
Yeah, this is extremely uncharacteristic. It seems like they're trying some different looks or something, and it's just not clicking for them right now. But a good job, credit to hREDS for forcing them sort of off of their game. That's a big step for them in HAVU, because when they're on their game, oh goodness, almost a turnover right there as well.
Dangerous game to play with Yoki being there. Again, we've talked about it, the aggressiveness of HAVU. Someone like Yoki could fit right in because he is one of the more aggressive forecheckers in this league.
Definitely, and as I said earlier, Färjestad seeing his own game thrown back on his own defenseman. He's an aggressive forechecker as well, but Yoki really putting the pressure on, and HAVU going to look for his own entry here. Unable to get it.
Not able to get it clean. It's been a very good start for hREDS in a lot of regards, and a rough start for HAVU. Yoki tries to hold it through the double team pressure, unable to do so. HAVU back in control now. See if they can gain the zone cleanly. A little bit of trouble here, recovered by Dominointi, throws it in front, loose puck, Nick having trouble tracking it down. Dominointi around the back, can't find the outlet pass. And a chance now here for hREDS. They'll look to settle it down. Dangerous game if you turn it over. HAVU, of course, like hawks in the offensive zone with the trap. An offside call here against hREDS. 6 minutes gone here in the second period. They're still up 1-0. The lone goal from Nicky Dangles in this game, continuing his incredibly hot start to this postseason. Chance here now off the draw, sent down into the HAVU zone. See what they're able to do here if they can get that clean breakout. hREDS looking that much more dangerous in terms of trying to create counterattacking chances. Again, another errant pass for HAVU. They're back in possession here, though. That one doesn't bite them. Dominointi along the half wall, looking for that bit of space. Gets it down low now, all the way around the boards. Chance here, Färjestad able to find Nasu. Shot on, blocked down in front by Nicky Dangles, and hREDS again survive an offensive flurry from HAVU. 9 minutes gone, but yet again, it's kind of been the story of the second period. hREDS not able to make the most of these chances. Pawanso, bit of space, poked away. As Janzu was able to get a hold of that one. He's back in possession here, but can't find Nicky Dangles on the pass. Saying we're halfway through this second period, and both teams looking off their game.
A little bit. The neutral zone is a big battleground here, but it's more not from, not so much from great defensive play, but more of a lack of execution on puck possession for both of these teams. And hREDS going to have to be careful here. They don't want to make an errant pass with HAVU bearing down on them.
There it is, but Dominointi couldn't gain possession off the pass. Färjestad still fighting for it. Janzu able to survive the threat, at least for the moment. Teemu still trying to find his way through. He can't do it. And again, hREDS struggling to get it out of the zone. Chance there with Färjestad and Pawanso hanging around. Bit of space here now, though, off the pinch. Yoki draws the trip. No trip called. Turnover again here, though, but they're not able to do anything with it. Sin, a shocking turn of events there with the no call. Looked like a certain trip.
I thought for sure that would be a trip. I mean, it's a trip when I do it. I'm a little salty about that, but an excellent defensive play nonetheless. I mean, even if you took the penalty right there, that would have probably been preferable to that 2-on-1 that was developing. So good job on the defensive side of things. An offensive zone draw that they can't come away with, but hREDS got to be careful of the forecheck.
Chance there for Yoki. He's able to regather. Has it over the line, throws it in front. Couldn't hit Nicky Daniels on the pass. Benito down low, tries to throw it on. Loose puck is there, off the blocker. Still though, hREDS in on the attack. Under 4 minutes to go here in the second period. hREDS going to feel, kind of hard done by that lack of a penalty call. But they're in possession here, at least for the moment. Still fighting for it. Now back to the point. Chance here for Teemu. Has a couple of options. Sends it down low, quickly in front. Loose puck is quickly recovered by HAVU. 2 minutes to go now. Bit of speed here for Dominointi. Shot and the rebound handled well by Nikke. Now in the corner yet again. Big hit there. Dominointi wins it back. Quick puck moving from HAVU. Deflection and it's in! What a job there by HAVU to battle back. Great forechecking. That's more like it. Dominointi is able to get a piece of it. And HAVU are right back in it.
And that puck had eyes. I count about 5 or 6 bodies there in the lane. It somehow gets through the deflection by Dominointi, and this one is all tied up. A great shot there by Villikun, finding its way through the traffic there, and Nikke gets caught sliding a bit with the change of direction from that puck, and a good job from HAVU there. They were able to hold the zone, finally start getting some shots through and testing Nikke there, and they've tied it up now late in the second.
A potentially back-breaking goal for hREDS, maintaining the lead through the majority of this second period. HAVU tried to go right back on the attack, but again, another offside call. 1:03 to play now here in the second. Still a chance, though, for a late goal that could really dictate the pace heading into the third.
Yeah, and, either one of those teams gets it, it's a huge boon for them. And HAVU, they're going to want to be the one to grab it. And they feel better when they're playing with the lead. They don't have to go kind of more out of their comfort zone right there. And we'll see what happens there. Is interesting. Great kind of play by Yanzu there to keep Benito or Dominointi offside.
Here, Flyer Coogan scores! The captain with the snipe out of nowhere. Right as you want to mention, hREDS doing a great job of holding them up the line. They finally get a clean zone entry, and it's the captain. A quick turn of events for HAVU, down from 1-0. They're up 2-1 here just before the end of the period.
It can happen in the blink of an eye, and with 1.4 seconds left, a great shot right there from Flyer Kungen finds its way through. Again, pretty hefty traffic, and they take the lead here going into the third period. That one has got to hurt for hREDS. You had the lead, you gave the lead up, and now you're actually down going into the third period. Pretty tough hill to climb now, especially after how good they looked throughout the beginning of this game, but you don't get goals. It's pretty hard to hold a 1-0 lead against a team of HAVU's caliber.
We said, hey, that one tying goal is kind of a backbreaker for hREDS, potentially demoralizing. If you weren't demoralized following the first goal and it being a tied game, you are certainly a bit demoralized now to find yourself trailing heading into the third period here of Game 2.
Yeah, something they probably didn't expect, but something HAVU definitely wanted to do there, as we saw how aggressive they were towards the end of the periods. And, they were like that in the previous game before going into overtime. We mentioned how many shots Nikke had to face at the end there, and now HAVU have the lead, starting to run away with the stat chart as well, although not having the amount of time on attack that they did throughout, the first game here. Credit to hREDS doing a much better job holding the line, but HAVU have so many different ways to kind of hurt. Was that double deflected, or was that just an awkward bounce off the ice?
I didn't get a very good look at it. I'm hoping to get a second look at it here as we see that absolutely deflected off the skates of a defender in front. I believe that was Yanzu. May have been Yoki as well, both 92 and 82 there. But regardless, hREDS, strong start to the game. They find themselves trailing now. It's a 2-1 lead for HAVU, looking to take the 2-0 series lead here in Game 2. We'll see how this one goes. Both teams a little bit off their game at times. Dominointi has it here, though. Loose puck, Flyer Kungen's there, but Nikke is able to cover and stop it from crossing the line. Extremely close call for hREDS.
Yeah, and Flyer Kungen maybe a bit of a frustration right there as he's elbowing near the net. Just couldn't quite get his stick on it. Nikke out of position on the right side of the net. If Flyer Kungen got it, that was a sure goal.
Just missed time there at the line. Nasu not able to hold on to it. So again, I'd be very intrigued to go back and watch this game, and I wish we had the offside counter within the in-game stats, because I'd love to know, you know, like what HAVU's average offside count would have been in the regular season compared to what it's been through the series so far. Great pressure there from Yoki, unable to come up with the puck there on that attempt, but he gets it off the turnover. Shot denied. Anselino makes the stop. Chance though here, one-timer deflection in front, doesn't find its way through though. No double deflection on this attempt. Flyer Kungen tries to hold on to it. Great job there on the back pressure. Nicky Dangle's able to come up with it. hREDS now trailing in this game. See if they can battle back. Yoki for Nicky Dangles. Now with the point between the legs pass. Don't know if that's what Janzu had in mind there to try and find Nicky Dangles, but ultimately it doesn't work. Kwanzo in front, loose puck, Dominoity on the doorstep. But again, Nikke making a phenomenal save.
Yeah, I think it was maybe one too many passes there from hREDS. I think Janzu should have just put that puck on net, and look what it led to. A pretty dangerous chance going back the other way for HAVU.
Chance here off the face-off win, shoveled towards the net. Still HAVU in possession. Dominoity for Kwanzo, saved by Nikke yet again. Got a chance to really set up the power on that pass. Kwanzo dishes it back to the point, now again down low. Looking to step in, test him on the near post, another save by Nikke. Chance here now, Nicky Dangles on the other side. Tries to work it through, a bit of trouble here, but Janzu holds on to it. Has a couple of options, sends it down low. Quick passing here from hREDS. Benito forced to go back to the point. Teemu now Nicky Dangles, and again, quick passing thrown in front. Benito has a chance. Over, denied, second chance off the side of the net. Yoki just couldn't get that one on target. He had a wide open goal to shoot from, but at a very sharp angle. But hREDS, promising stuff there, really getting the offensive game and the offensive flow going.
Yep, definitely starting to wear down to the fence in the zone of HAVU. They got to keep this up. They got to get the puck back in the zone immediately, as quick as they can. They want to keep the pressure up.
It's here now, HAVU risking turning it over, and they do. Shot blocked down in front. Nicky Dangles just couldn't get that one on. Chance here now for Dominoity. The pressure's there. He'll send it low. Kwanzo has it. Back to Dominoity. The point doesn't go. Huge opportunity for Ville Kuhn as Nicky left the post, but it doesn't find its way in. No insurance goal yet for HAVU.
Yeah, I'm not too sure if that hit the post or not, but a couple heart-stopping chances at either end now, but still hREDS trying to battle back from this one-goal deficit.
Kwanzo now on the half wall, looking, throws it in front, doesn't find its way home. Chance here now again, sent down in. Benito will give chase, wins it back in front, loose puck, and it's in! Nicky Dangles again! hREDS have tied this game at 2 apiece. Nicky Dangles could not be stopped.
Wow, I mean, just finding a way. Well, he's surrounded by about 2 or 3 white jerseys there. Somehow gets his stick on the puck and bats it by Hanselino. hREDS, a huge moment for them as they tie this game up. And again, this team just simply won't go away either. They got to feel like they have a bit of momentum here. They can't give it back. This is the biggest thing I'm going to mention all the time. They cannot take a penalty here at the tail end of the third. They got to try to build on it. It looks like we're going to have some timeouts coming up.
And hREDS timeout, and Sin, you have to imagine they're saying, okay, no penalties. Yeah. Let's not shoot ourselves in the foot here, but what an effort by Benito to get that one in front. And again, you see there, it's Nasu who kind of shields Nicky Dangles from making contact with Hanselino, and as a result, no goaltender interference. Nicky never made contact with the opposing goaltender.
Yeah, an unfortunate jump right there from Benito on the draw, so a free win for HAVU. See if they can get it into the zone and get some more pressure, or hREDS can build off the momentum they generated.
Sin, you're breaking up and going robotic on us. We'll cover this as best we can in the meantime. We gotta love, unfortunately, when tech issues rob Sin of making a fantastic point. Chance again here now, yet again. Space! Kwanzo in alone! Can't bury it! Huge opportunity again for HAVU. Now in the corner. Back down into the middle. Chance now at the point. Does not go. Bit of a skip there. Chance here now, though. hREDS back in possession. Sin, are you still with us?
I am still with us. Bit of a connection issue right there, but we should be all good now. Just turn it off and turn it back on again. It always works.
Did you blow in the cartridge?
I did.
Fantastic. An offside call here with 2:58 to go now. And we'll see how this one plays out. Sin, are we destined for overtime again?
We may very well be. We seem to attack the overtimes. hREDS seem to just continue to go to overtimes as these playoffs go on. But if you're HAVU, you don't want to see another one. Anything can happen here. We'll see hREDS. Good little pressure right there. They might be able to sustain some zone time. Nicky Dangle's unable to come up with it, though.
Chance here, though. Dominoity pressuring. Flyer Kunga nearly came up with it as well. This one's sent down and around. And again, hREDS looking for that clean breakout. Chance here. Nicky Dangles tries to hold on to it. Benito tried to go for Yoki. Loose puck. Does not go. Shocked that Benito didn't take the shot there. That might be a moment that he lives to regret. Chance at the point now. Nasu deflection bid. Loose puck still there. Flyer Coogan can't bury it. Huge chances on both sides of the ice. hREDS back in possession. 35 seconds to go here in regulation of Game 2. Again, HAVU winning Game 1 by the score of 3-2 in overtime. And it looks like, Tim, we're going to see the same scoreline. It's just a matter of whether or not it'll take OT or not, as Villekuhn's going to look to chase this one down here. Huge hit there, no call, risking a boarding penalty. 15 seconds now. Flyer Kungan back in possession. Can't find the pass. hREDS with a chance here. 10 seconds to work with. Ianzu now down low. Chance again. Across. No shot off. Loose puck. Still there. 2 seconds to play. And Sin, for the second time in as many games, we go to overtime.
Well, it just kind of, I guess, had to be right there. And hREDS just continue to go to overtime after overtime. HAVU coming up to win in the first one here due to a penalty taken by hREDS. So they're going to have to avoid that. I feel like they've done a better job here discipline-wise in this second game, but they're going to have to continue that through overtime here because I'm liking what they're bringing to the table offensively. They're finding ways to get chances on Hanselino through that very, very tough HAVU defense. So again, anything can happen here in OT. You know, HAVU, they want to go up 2-0, but, you know, everyone else maybe are hoping for another split, more parity, more craziness coming here in the semifinals.
Because, again, as we always say, why not go to overtime, especially when it involves hREDS, as we talked about. hREDS, this is now their 7th overtime game in 9 games played, their 6th consecutive overtime this postseason. They just can't get enough of it. I don't know why. and just, you know, to really spite these two broadcasters, I suppose. But, you know, Sim, we're going to make the best of it. A huge chance here. HAVU potentially going to be able to pull off the double and win both of these overtime games. For hREDS here, you want to guarantee play on Thursday. This is a huge situation for them.
Yeah, they're really going to need to find a way to come up with this goal right here. You can't allow HAVU to have a 2-0 series lead, I think. With how angry they are at last year and how much they want to make up for that in this season, you're going to have to watch out. Good zone entry, though.
Chance here across, Palazzo denied. What a chance there. Out of nothing, a high-quality opportunity is denied by Nikke. HAVU will get an offensive zone draw.
Yeah, Nikke continuing his stellar play in clutch moments, but again, HAVU seeming to start taking the momentum back for themselves here.
Face off, they come up with it. Flyer Kungan looking to step in, threw it in front, nobody was there. Nicky Dangles has it now. The main goal scorer here for hREDS. Now it's Yoki, down low in the corner, back to the point. And again, down low looking Benito. Trying to find that set play, that set pass. Benito tried to bank it off the back, it wasn't there. Villekuhn has a little bit of trouble, but he's able to handle it. Dominoity now tries to find Flyer Coogan, mistimed, and again an offside for HAVU.
Yeah, and a neutral zone face-off coming up. We'll see if Benito can win it. See if hREDS have some sort of set play in mind that they can get a rush going the other way and look to Yoki to be that guy, the catalyst. They always seem to like to do it for him.
Good win there for hREDS. Unfortunately, Nicky Dangles not able to pick that one up. Chance now again. Nasu looking for space, forced to work it around. Great job patrolling the blue line here for hREDS. HAVU will look to reset, maybe try to draw them out of that shell. Chance here, Flyer Kungan just couldn't hold on to it. Point in the corner. Good puck movement here from HAVU. Now Sue for Pawanso. Tests him short side. Blocker save by Nick A. And this puck deflects out of play.
Yeah, hard to, not too sure if that was a blocker save or a block shot. Nonetheless, good job from hREDS and their goaltender, of course, staying in position, trying to limit those chances that HAVU like to get from the side of the net.
Absolutely. Big defensive zone draw win there by Benito. Huge hit there, though, yet again by Dominointi to free it up. HAVU back in possession. Pawanso, now Flyer Kungan back to the point. Shot, deflection, bid, loose puck, second chance off the back of the net. Still alive, Flyer Kungan. And Pawanso giving chase. Yoki able to hold on to it, at least for the moment. Dominointi has it. Chance here. Poked aside. Second chance for Pawanso. Test the near post. Loose puck. Nicky somehow comes up with it through the traffic.
And HAVU just seem to have a switch that they flip when it gets into these overtime moments. They're absolutely taking it to hREDS right now. They got to win this faceoff and get the puck out of the zone.
Absolutely. We'll see how this one goes down. Again, next goal wins it. Second overtime in as many games here to begin this series. Big pass there. Doesn't go through. Benito tried that quick tap over to Yoki. And now it's HAVU looking to find their way through the neutral zone. Pawanso on the break. Does not go in. Poked aside. Nick A holding him in the goal there for a moment. I mean, it's someone you would expect the score on that opportunity would be Pawanso. Rebound chance. Poked aside by Nick A. Huge moments here. Puck on his own goalie. Survived. HAVU still on the attack. Chance here for Villikun. Down low yet again. Flyer Kungan can't hit the wraparound attempt. hREDS struggling to hold on here, but they do for now. Big step up, thrown back across again. Stopped by Hansalino. Both goaltenders coming up huge here in overtime.
What a passing play by hREDS on the rush. Two sauces, a little bit of a give and go between Yanzu and Nicky Dangles, and Yanzu got the shot away, just couldn't tuck it home.
Chance here off the face-off. Great job by HAVU to win it in the defensive zone. 6.5 remaining here in overtime, what could be the first of many. We've seen hREDS involved in a triple overtime game. Huge hit there. Delayed call. Pass across doesn't go. But HAVU are going to the power play. It's going to be a boarding call. And from what I can tell, I do believe that is Yanzu who will be taking a seat, the left defenseman for hREDS. Huge draw here. Dominointi against Benito, and Benito's able to win it. Not able to clear, though. Held in. Turned over yet again, though. hREDS get a second chance to send it down, and they do.
Yeah, and another dangerous situation. Luckily, it wasn't a 5-minute major. That could have easily been that had an injury occurred right there. So hREDS got to kill this off. But here goes HAVU setting it up.
Again, it was a power play goal for HAVU that won it in game one. Pawanso, the pass over for Dominointi doesn't go. Surprised to see Pawanso not really firing more shots on net. Again, the leader in goals through the first round of the playoffs, despite playing only 4 games compared to, say, 7 for someone on hREDS. Chance again here, cleared out. Yoki sends it down. hREDS survive. A huge momentum boost there, perhaps, but HAVU still in possession. This one off the skate. hREDS here, a chance to work, but again, turned over through the neutral zone. Both teams having a little bit of trouble. Again, I'm simply stunned by HAVU and the amount of offsides that we've seen from them in this series so far.
Yeah, they're seeming a bit antsy right there. As hREDS has gotten better at holding the line, HAVU's trying to, get more timing plays out, and it's just not quite working right now.
Chance there again as they get over the line. hREDS back in possession. We've seen the difference there. Just 5 shots on target for hREDS in this game. 2 minutes to go here in OT number 1. Tied at 2. The next goal wins it. Again, games 3 and 4 coming up on Wednesday. And if necessary, games 5, 6, and maybe even 7 will be seen on Thursday. We know the other matchup between Linköping and Färjestad will be featured on Thursday. At least one game after a 1-1 split in the first 2 games of the series. But HAVU can look to avoid that Thursday tussle. Chance here denied by Nicky yet again. Dominointi recovers, though. Pawanso sends it around the back. Dominointi looking for space. Yoki was there to defend. Off a skate. Loose puck. Still there. And around the back of the net, hREDS have it. Yoki with a little bit of speed through the neutral zone. Forced to stop up and maintain possession. Nicky Dangles now tries to throw it across. Yoki's there, but a buffered shot costs him the possession. Final minute here is, of course, going to be slow, as you already see the score clock winding down. Chance here for hREDS yet again. Janzu forced to get a different look. It's Teemu now. He's going to look to step in. Great step up here by the defenseman. Teemu around the back, but nobody there. Caught all of his teammates off guard. Final minute of play here, Sin, in OT number 1.
And hREDS looking like they're starting to gain a little bit of momentum here, gaining some pressure. They got to enter the zone again. Great pass.
Drop pass at the line by Yoki, but a little bit of trouble for Janzu. Here's Villikun, has his wingers with him. Flyer Kung in a little bit of trouble. The defenseman able to recover for now. Still fighting for it. Can they come up with it? HAVU having trouble. hREDS come up with the puck. Chance here, 30 seconds to go. Benito bumped off. Chance here for Yoki. Nicky dangles. He's on a brace in this game, but he can't find a way through. 20 seconds to go here in overtime. Number 1. Could again be the first of many between these two teams. Chance here now. Dominoiti looking. He has options. Takes the hit, but makes the play. Finds Pawanso. 5 seconds. Pawanso can't work his way through. Flyer Kungan. Dominoiti back for Flyer Kungan. Stripped away. And Sin. Why not? Double overtime here in game 2 between hREDS and HAVU Gaming.
hREDS seem to be addicted to the overtimes, but look at those shot numbers from HAVU. Really starting to take it to hREDS, and hREDS, few and far between are their chances, but when they do get it, they are looking
Sin,
like
not
dangerous.
to cut you off again, sounding a little bit robotic. You gotta love, the technical issues side of things. Certainly frustrating for you, I am sure, but again, we'll try to have that be cleared up as best we can. So for now, hey guys, how you doing? You ready for overtime number 2? I hope you are. It's going to be something. Thanks for sticking with us. Again, we greatly appreciate it. Sin, are you back? You're not back. Unfortunate. All right, well, hey, overtime number 2, hREDS and HAVU. Let's do it. You don't get any of that beautiful analysis to set the stage for the second overtime, but you know the deal between these two teams. As HAVU is able to recover the puck in their own zone. We'll see what they're able to do here. Again, it's Villikun trying to work his way through. We've seen the defenseman look to step up a little bit more as the overtimes have gone on, trying to get a bit more aggressive. There was that great rush by Teemu. Here's Yoki now for hREDS, sauces it on. Hansalino able to control it. Benito goes ass over tea kettle. That's really the only way to say it around these parts at least. Huge face-off here for hREDS in the offensive zone. Face-offs have been pretty close, and Benito wins that one. Nicky Dangles can't hold on to it. Chance there, but kept alive by Janzu. Great movement. Finds Teemu. Now down in the corner, it's Benito. Looking for space, has the options. Back to the point, it's Teemu yet again. One-timer deflection opportunity, but Hansalino is able to track it down and make the save. Big face-off coming up.
Very close one right there, and good puck movement from hREDS, and looking like they're going to opt to take a few more shots here, try to catch HAVU moving here. Big face-off.
Absolutely. Let's see if they can win another one. Clean win from Dominoiti. Again, one of the top centers in terms of face-off percentage all season long. Chance here. Flyer Kungan, burst of speed. Dominoiti back for Flyer Kungan in front and deflects out into the corner. Turned over there by Dominoiti, though. Yoki was there. There's a little bit of trouble. Great job by Villikun to hold him up. And now here's Nasu. A tour of his own zone. Looks to find the breakout pass, and he does. Pawanso trying to gain the line. Bit of contact there. hREDS not able to hold on to it. This one sent all the way back to the HAVU zone. 6 minutes gone here in overtime number 2 of game 2. Tied at 2-2. You'll love to see it. Chance here for hREDS off the turnover. Yoki shot, saved by Hansalino. Actually see hREDS just start to throw it on a little bit more. Yoki in front, nobody home. Here's a bit of speed now from Pawanso. As Flyer Kungan with them, but good defense there by Benito. He'll send it all the way down. It's Yoki on a one-on-one. Can he find his way through? He does, but he hits the side of the net on the shot. Great effort from Yoki to kind of hang around towards the HAVU blue line. Turnover there, but Yoki not able to maintain offensive zone possession. An errant pass here. No icing on the play as we approach the halfway point of OT2. Chance here now. Dominoiti able to find Nasustelia, looking for a bit of space here. Gets it around the back. Flyer Kungan now trying to work his way through as well. We'll send it all the way back around. Pawanso's there. Takes the hit. Not able to maintain the zone. Great job by Nicky Dangles to rough him up and get him out of the zone. Here's again Yoki, but he's able to not able to find the pass. He's forced to send it back down. And hREDS will look to regroup, but you see the forechecking pressure. All 5 players were still in the zone there for HAVU. Flyer Kungen gets possession back, but it's offside with 7:20 remaining here in OT2.
Well, we might be in for the long haul here. Neither team able to get that one chance that they need to bury one. And again, the neutral zone hard to kind of penetrate and get into the offensive zone for either of these teams, as HAVU looking to do so once again. But you can see hREDS sort of shifting all as one to kind of keep them away and retreating it back into their own zone even to try to find some space and some speed.
6 minutes to play here. Palazzo can't find the opportunity to work his way through. hREDS now, a chance of their own to break down the HAVU trap. They're able to gain the line, but Nicky Dangle's back pass doesn't go, and Sin, perhaps a disconnect here in double overtime. Intrigued to see how this one's going down. Very interesting call here, though, all things considered, as indeed there is a lost connection in double overtime. You can't make this up.
Nope.
You can't make it up.
We have connection issues now, a disconnect in double overtime. I mean, all the dominoes seem to be falling at once here, but yeah, nonetheless, I mean, we'll figure out what we're going to do here when it comes to the restart, but frustrating for both teams, I'm sure, especially when you're in the moment, in such a high pressure overtime moment as that. Something like that happens. It looks like it was one of the goaltenders, as it was an automatic kind of crash right there, so unfortunate for both of these guys, but we'll get that continuing as soon as possible for you guys.
I mean, my suggestion is that we just play it out and let the clock catch up to where it was, and then continue from there. Why just say like, oh, okay, first period's the overtime? No, we'll just wait until the clock gets back where it was, and we'll see everybody back here at midnight Eastern Standard Time here in the U.S. because that's how long it'll take to get back to that point. So again, we will resume. I can't imagine we'll be waiting until the double overtime is ready to begin. So again, I imagine it will be the first period, which could have consequences. I mean, again, you talk about, it'll be a fast final minute there as the adjustment, as opposed to a slow final 2 minutes that you normally see in an overtime. So that could certainly be a factor as well, particularly if a team is on the man advantage at that particular time.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, especially if a power play was to be taken, like you said, and with hREDS, I mean, it's a possibility that one of that, something like that happens. So a bit interesting how they'll handle this, but just have to get through it, do the best that we can. Teams will do the best that they can, and we'll have a result here for you guys as soon as possible.
Absolutely. Just trying to get clarification on something as well. When it comes to certain other rules here that we want to make sure you guys have the full story in terms of what's going to happen here. Obviously, it's still going to be overtime. We're still going to figure it out, in terms of who is going to head into game 3, either with a potential advantage if you're HAVU or if you're hREDS, with a bit of momentum. A thing to keep in mind here as well, in terms of build changes, that is also not allowed in between games. So you won't be seeing, it's a perfect example would be Afe at Färjestad. You're not going to see him change from that small build and all of a sudden he's a 6'7" power forward. So no kind of changes or on the fly adjustments like that are allowed. So we're going to get right back into setting the stage as far as what the matchup was, but could be an interesting, kind of thing as this series progresses. Of course, always interesting to see whether or not build changes happen and, if teams are willing to make those adjustments or just stick what they're comfortable with. So.
Yeah, and we've asked that question definitely, like in between games, in between series. Like we've seen some adjustments being made, especially namely in the NACL series, where someone switched to a larger build after they were up 3-1. Then they absolutely dominated that 5th game there to come away with the victory. So even when things are working out for you, sometimes teams kind of find a way to kind of switch things up. But we won't be seeing that here, obviously, against the rules here to do a build change when there is a disconnect. It has to remain the same as the game was. So we'll see how we pick things up and how we handle this overtime here. But another look at the matchups here. It's been great so far. I mean, both these teams really duking it out here, getting their chances and holding the line pretty well. I'm sure HAVU didn't think it was going to be this tough. Even though hREDS a strong team, I mean, they're giving HAVU a pretty dang good fight.
It's been a very interesting broadcast in general. I mean, again, when you look at Linköping and Färjestad, Linköping dominating game 1, Färjestad, though, battles back and wins that second game. I believe they're up by 3 at one point. I think it was a 5-3 finish, if I'm not mistaken. Might have actually held on at 5-2. And then we see this series where in game 1, HAVU off to a great start. Then they really start to struggle. And hREDS are able to battle back, force OT. Of course, HAVU walk away with the win. And then in this one, the teams have had some moments of brilliance. But a lot of the times it's just been kind of that, that back and forth dogfight in terms of who can really establish that offensive consistency, and neither team has really been able to do it through the second game.
Yeah, consistency is a key word right there. And as you said, it's been hard for both teams to come by. Really, the only thing consistent that we've seen is how much of a battleground the neutral zone is and how hard it kind of is to gain the zone cleanly time and time again. You get it one time, next time you're offsides, or next time you can't even enter the zone. It's, so good adjustments made by both sides here to kind of, play good defense, keep the other team from getting some sustained pressure, because as we've seen, once HAVU gets set up there, very hard to move them out of there. And the shot totals, everything was really speaking to that, and just how good they were. I mean, they were the shot totals were so skewed in HAVU's favor. But again, score tied, you're in overtime, still a chance.
Absolutely. So again, just a reminder, overtime is still coming up. We are not yet done here. A disconnect in double overtime between hREDS and HAVU Gaming. We will have the conclusion of Game 2 for you here as soon as possible. But again, Sin, perhaps no more unfortunate time than overtime, double overtime here in the second round of the playoffs. But, again, these things happen, unfortunately. It's just the way these things go on occasion. So,
yep. And we'll do our best to bring it to you.
Right, as we continue to, let's be honest here. We're biding time. We're doing the things that we have to do to make sure that we, just try to make this as interesting and as entertaining for all of you as we possibly can. Again, a big thanks to everybody who is joining us here and supporting, NHL Gamer and the ECL, of course. Again, I've mentioned it before. Make sure to drop us a follow here on Twitch. It would be greatly appreciated. A shout out to our sponsors at ISE Sports and Prisma Gaming, of course. And make sure as well, NHLgamer.com, the place to be for all the info that you need. Of course, you can check us out on the socials as well. There's the Twitter, the Instagram, YouTube, and Discord, and so many things. I was going to bring it into a sing-song, but I decided not to, because this is a real serious moment. It's double overtime, Game 2 of the playoffs. There's no time for joking around or sarcasm or fantastic dance numbers. Sin is a fantastic dancer, by the way. They called him Twinkle Toes once upon a time.
No, not a thing.
It's brewing, and one of these days, we will get that on full display. I swear, the next time there's a live final, if the world goes back to normal and Sin and I perhaps get to take a really long flight and get to witness things in person, we'll see what happens there, and I'll make sure to, catch Sin really showcasing the moves at the after party, as we know you can do. We are good to go. Again, next goal wins. Double overtime, technically, between hREDS and HAVU Gaming. We're looking for one more goal. Who will walk away with the victory here in Game 2? It is time to find out. As you see the scoreboard there, we are good to go. As was mentioned in chat, 95 minutes of gameplay was not enough. We'll see again if the adjustments that these teams, have had time to talk about pay off. As HAVU in the zone early, Dominointi now Flyer Kungan. Dish back, loose puck, big step up from Billy Kuhn. He wins the puck back, thrown in front. Palazzo doesn't get the shot through. If he does, it was a spectacular stop by Nick A. Chance here yet again, though. Dominointi wins it back. Palazzo tried to find Flyer Kungan. He couldn't do it. A couple of early chances here for HAVU. hREDS aggressive, but unable to win back possession, Sid.
Yeah, and it's, again, neutral zone battle's tough, but here we go.
Flyer Kungan! Oh! It does not go! Dominointi, I don't know if it hit the invisible wall or what happened there, but somehow Dominointi does not end this game. What a time for that to happen. We're seeing everything. Big face-off here. Palazzo can't get the shot off. It's Again, Flyer Kungan unable to pull the trigger as well, but he has the puck here. Throws it in front, couldn't find its way to Dominointi. Powanzo for Dominointi, denied. Second chance doesn't go either. Huge chances for HAVU. Here comes Yoki for hREDS, but the move does not pay off.
Wow. I mean, I can't believe that one didn't go in. It was sitting right there on the line here, and we'll see HAVU trying to get right back into the zone once again. A very quick start for them.
Chance here now, though, for hREDS on the counter. Teemu taking his time. Space here for Benito. Drops back for Yanzu. Again, now down in the corner. Benito dishes it back to the point. D trying to find the space. One-timer blocked down in front. Great job there. Now here comes HAVU again on the counterattack. Over the line. Powanzo drops it back. D. One-timer deflection bid. Loose puck. Dominointi can't come up with it. Benito was there for hREDS. Dominointi has it again now. Here's Powanzo. Shot glove save by Nikke. Heads up play there by Powanzo, trying to catch Nikke, making the adjustment so he could pick that top corner. But Nikke, perhaps a slow reaction really benefited him there.
Yeah, and sometimes you can overread the goaltender trying to catch him napping when he himself is, slower to the uptake right there. So fortunate play by them, and hREDS chance now to bring things back the other way and get some chances of their own.
Good face-off win by Benito, but can it lead to offense? The answer, at least on that possession, is no. HAVU back in control here again. Double overtime between these two teams. Sauced up the ice. Flyer Kungan along the half wall. Tried to send it low. It was taken away by Yanzu. And now here's Yoki yet again. He has trouble, but hREDS still in possession. The neutral zone. Teemu again looking for space. D pass. Trying to find a way through, but they can't. Flyer Kungan holds on to it. Looks to find his way through. A couple of quick passes. Chance for Dominointi. Back for Flyer Kungan. Loose puck to the other side of the crease. But hREDS are able to survive. Chance here yet again, just out of the reach of Naas Estelios. So again, HAVU forced to reset. They're getting the better of the play here upon the restart for double overtime. Flyer Kungan not able to receive that pass. That was a great job there by Yanzu, but now here's Powanzo for HAVU. Looks to cut back in front. Shot, loose puck, recovered again by hREDS. Great job by that defense, limiting second chance opportunities. Under 5 minutes to go now here in OT number 2. Big hit at the line. Loose puck, though, still fought on for. HAVU have it for the moment. Dominointi for Flyer Kungan loses it for the moment, but again, hREDS able to recover and make the most of it, so a great job in terms of cleaning up the breakout until that moment, as we have 3 minutes to go now here in double overtime. Over the line, Powanzo looking, it's Dominointi. Shot on, save by Nikke. Great job there. 2 minutes to play. Again, it'll be a fast final minutes here in this overtime. So overtime number 3 may be upon us. It would be the third or the second triple overtime of hREDS postseason campaign already. In the third, the fourth overtime frame in this series already. But Yoki might have something to say about that down in the corner. Recovered again here now. Last second chance. Powanzo with speed, poked away. He recovers back to the point. Nasu, deflection bid just wide of the post. Second chance, he scores! With 1.3 to go. Willie Kuhn is the hero. HAVU take it in double overtime and have a 2-0 series lead. Phenomenally done. What a pass. What a heads-up play. And HAVU win it upon the restart. What a feed. And the defensemen get involved, and it leads to the victory, Sin. Triple overtime. Who needs it?
Yeah, they were absolutely taking it to hREDS there in that overtime, too. HAVU just progressively getting better and better and better, and now they have the 2-0 series lead. A heartbreaking, end to it for hREDS, and you're now down 2-0 against a very formidable opponent, but you had your chances, and at times, you just kind of got dominated. They got dominated early in the first game, and they got dominated late in the second game, and unfortunately for them, they weren't able to pull off either overtime victory, and HAVU remains undefeated.
Again, Ville Kuhn, the hero of that game, led all defensemen in goals in the regular season, 11 goals in 30 games, and showing his offensive touch there as well with his first goal of the postseason, and what a time to get it. Now, Sin, we are going to look to wrap up things here a little bit earlier than we normally do for the sake of our producer, who I'm sure is wanting to pull his hair out. So absolutely, again, a very interesting set of series here. HAVU, though, up 2-0 now in this series. Again, just 2 wins away from having the chance to go back and get their redemption and once again be crowned as champions. For hREDS, though, you were within striking distance. You still got a long way to go in this series. Again, games 3 and 4 for both of this series between HAVU and hREDS, and the other series, Linköping and Färjestad, coming up on Wednesday. Sin, kind of any closing thoughts here? Again, for the sake of you and the connection issues, for the sake of our producer, we're gonna look to wind things down here a little bit earlier.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you're hREDS, you're down 2-0. It's not where you wanted to be, but at the same time, both those games extremely close. You're getting your chances now. Now it's just about trying to find a bit of that consistency here and try to bring it back. You're not guaranteed play on Thursday now, so it's going to be up to them to have a strong performance on Wednesday and give themselves a chance to come back here against HAVU. As we're looking to get another look here at the replay. And again, look where the play starts, behind the net for HAVU. This is where they love to create their offense, and they kick it back out twice, and it's Willi Kuhn coming in on the pressure, and it looked like he and Nasu, kind of switched places right there, and a good job to kick out to the middle. Dominointi behind the legs pass, and both of them in there looking for the shot. Unfortunately, it's Willi Kuhn who gets the puck. Otherwise, Nasu was on the backhand. It would not have been as good of a chance right there. So fortune favors the bold.
That close to not finding the winner. We could be watching triple overtime right now, but that's not how it played out for hREDS. Again, within striking distance, losing 2 close games in overtime, but we're going to see how that one plays out later on Wednesday. And again, we hope very much that you will join us for that. But for now, though, that will do it for this presentation, again, of the ECL Elite Division right here on NHL Gamer, of course, brought to you by Prisma Gaming and IS Sports. You can find my broadcast partner, Sin, on Twitter at SinForTheWinProd, right here on Twitch and on YouTube at Sin for the Win Productions. You can find me, if you'd want to do that for some reason, everywhere at Tookie24, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, Discord, Instagram, and wherever. I don't have a follow-up line for that. Wherever dumb t-shirts are sold, look me up on Teespring. We thank you again very much for joining us. Of course, NHLGamer.com for all the information that you need to continue to follow along with the Elite Division and everything else that's going on under the NHLGamer.com banner. We thank you very much. Of course, there's the Twitter, the Instagram, the Discord, the YouTube. Check it all out if you haven't already. We will see you all on Wednesday. Thank you very much for joining us. Until then, have a good one. Stay safe. We'll see you soon.